Okay, so the Monday's here as Angels baseball rolls on to Boston and Fenway Park as we welcome you to Angels Live, brought to you by Spectrum. It's the Angels and the first of 6 this season against the Red Sox, coming to you from Fenway Park here in Boston. Lots to talk about today to get you ready for first pitch. Mike Trout back in the lineup at DH tonight. Was a great weekend return. We'll take a look back at his series in Cleveland. Plus, continuing to honor Lou Gehrig today. Today is officially Lou Gehrig Day across Major League Baseball. Plus, Matty V, he'll hang with us on the pregame show. He's on the call all road trip long. Can't wait for that. As we welcome you inside Fenway Park alongside Mark Gubza, Erica Weston with you. Gooby, it's so great to be in Boston and at Fenway when it's not cold and raining.
I know. The last couple of years we've been here, it's been freezing, raining, but it's beautiful today. I'll tell you what. Just look around the ballpark today. There's a lot of Angel fans that made their way out to this incredible venue. Fenway Park is a once-in-a-lifetime visit for fans, especially seeing so many Angel fans here. It's so cool.
Top of your list?
Yeah, #1 by a lot.
I agree.
By a lot.
I agree. Yeah, I had a couple people ask me that today. Definitely top on the list. Just such a cool and historic ballpark. Speaking of history, seems like every time Mike Trout's on the field, something historic may or may not just happen, but it was great to see him back this weekend in Cleveland.
Erica, he swung the bat so well. We always, when you have that amount of time off, nearly about 4 weeks off, you worry about timing, but his timing was excellent. His first at bat, he hit one 107 miles off the bat, but Jose Ramirez made a great play. He had 5 hits and 10 at bats, official at bats, but 3 of those outs were absolutely crushed. So I'm loving what I'm seeing. I love the fact is he had an RBI double on a changeup. So in other words, his hands were staying back, getting through the baseball, and that's what's so important for Trout to be able to do that. Still be quick enough on the fastball, adjust on the breaking ball, but quicker even on the changeup like he hit there for an RBI double.
Love to see that. 5 for 10 his first 2 games back. Gooby also loved the pinch hit RBI from him yesterday. Wasn't in the starting lineup, but still made an impact, and it certainly felt like when he came in, the Angels were going to make a run at things.
Yeah, I mean, and you think about that. That's a pinch hit RBI single for Trouty, and in between RBIs, I mean, it's a historic mark for him. What was it, 973 RBIs in between that as far as a pinch hit RBI single for Trouty. So hopefully it carries it in his ballpark. He's hit for a pretty high average here, 294, but only 1 home run. That was against Rick Porcella a few years ago.
Just a couple? Just a couple years ago?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll see. This ballpark is certainly prone to giving up the long ball, but the Angels certainly had some transactions this afternoon as well. In case you missed it, they placed Robert Stevenson on the injured list with right biceps inflammation. Yohan Moncada went down on the IL as well with that right knee inflammation. Sam Aldeguerri as well as Matthew Lugo are here, and we caught up with Ron Washington ahead of today's game with more news on the transactions.
Well, all I know is that we want to be cautious on the precautious side. We don't want to try to push that and it get worse, so we decided that we'll just take him out of action for 10 days, and hopefully he'll be back.
Did he feel okay after playing catch yesterday, or did that trigger a decision?
Well, it wasn't comfortable. Okay. So when he told us it wasn't comfortable, we're not going to take a chance. We just got him back from Tommy John. And what he displayed, we want that. So we're not going to take any chances. So that's why we decided to go in this direction.
Still no further testing for him?
No further testing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know yesterday you were also optimistic that Moncada would avoid the IL, but was this the most likely scenario?
Well, it was the most likely scenario because he didn't feel normal. You know, he was always worried about his leg doing this, especially when he hit on the right side, when he have to move, when he have to throw the ball. He probably could have went out there and labored, but we don't want him laboring. We want Moncada, so we decided to, hopefully only 10 days is what it's going to take, hopefully.
What do you see for Aldeguerri being here for the time being?
Well, he'll be our lone guy. If something happens early in the game and we need somebody to eat up some innings, that's what he's going to do. We got other guys that's back down there that can handle the rest of the game, but it's just in case our starter has a hiccup early and we need someone to extend some innings, and that's what Aldeguerri is here for.
There must be a lot of Aldeguerri fans in the ballpark here tonight with all the Italia jerseys in the seats.
He is throwing the ball. We saw him last year, Eric. I mean, he just had a pitch. And the way he threw this year in Double-A, you just know he's a major league pitcher. And maybe get the opportunity, maybe short term for the time being, maybe here for a long time. But just knowing He's around to be able to give you some innings. And then Matthew Lugo, too, but with this outfield. This is a tough outfield, so he's basically was an infielder, but playing a lot of outfield. And with the outfield the way it's set up right now, he might be a guy to be able to use late in the game.
Yeah, and he obviously, as you mentioned, he also has infield experience around Washington City. They got that covered. There's no need for him to play the infield. They have plenty of infielders to deal with that. But they'll be facing a guy on the other side, Gooby, and Rafi Devers, who has absolutely raked all season long, but particularly in this ballpark.
And you go through Aaron Judge, you go through Jose Ramirez, now you got Rafi Devers here. I mean, he's leading baseball as far as RBIs right now with 52. He's got 11 home runs. I mean, he's just 12 home runs, I should say. He's just hitting the ball. So he's a doubles machine, and he hits off speed and breaking balls exceptionally well. A little bit more susceptible to fastballs. And Tyler Anderson on the bump today, his numbers using his fastball have been very, very impressive. But this is going to be a challenge. Again, do you give in to him? Do you pitch around him if you have to? The Red Sox steal a lot. They've stolen 30 more stolen bases than the Angels this season. So you're not used to seeing that with the Boston Red Sox, the team is stealing. But Alex Cora, the manager, is a guy that's going to be aggressive. So I still wouldn't give in to him. It's like we were saying with Ramirez and Aaron Judge. So hopefully that's the case where when he comes up, nobody's on base, and the Halos have a pretty good lead.
Yeah, the injury bug has certainly bit the Red Sox with no Alex Bregman, no Tristan Casas. So he's certainly always been the centerpiece of their offense. You mentioned his 52 RBI, 34 of them in this ballpark.
In this ballpark,
yeah.
You know, you think of a left-handed batter so much, you think of that pull, but he uses that left field wall. Mo Vaughn was the one I remember so much. Ted Williams before that. Carl Yastrzemski doing the same thing. They stay back on the baseball because as a pitcher, we were talking about this earlier today, a lot of times you pitch away thinking, okay, stay away from that, the pull side, especially the right-handed batter, or from the left side, just pitch him away. No, you got to be able to pitch inside effectively because that green monster is right behind us. It's pretty close.
The monster.
Yes, the monster.
The monster. Well, it will be certainly no easy challenge for Tyler Anderson, who goes for the Angels tonight, Gooby. But the good news is the Angels have won 8 of his 11 starts this year.
And going back to his fastball has been very, very effective this season. His changeup, we know how good that could be. The cutter, the same thing. So he went out and did a real nice job against the Yankees the other day. 6 innings, this 1 earned run, 3 strikeouts, 1 walk. I mean, he's around the strike zone. He changes speeds exceptionally well. He will challenge batters with his fastball, and a lot of times when you see the hitters, they are thinking off speed, and the fastball beats him. He get up there now. He's even touched 90 miles an hour, but generally settles around 87, 88 miles an hour. But I love the fact is he hasn't had a ton of success here, but this is one of those times right now you just feel he's going to be much, much better.
All right, let's take a look at his usage in his last start against the Yankees. Gooby, all about the four-seam and the changeup, no strikes.
I mean, when you look at the percentage of strikes, I mean, when you're throwing that many strikes, that means eventually when you throw it in the strike zone, you get expanded, get some swing and misses like he did with 10 of them during the course of the game and 3 strikeouts. And that's a pretty deep lineup. The Yankees, same thing, even though they're missing some guys in this Red Sox lineup. In this ballpark, everyone seems to be a good hitter in this yard.
Okay, you're Tyler Anderson, though. How are you pitching a guy like Devers?
I'm gonna go after him with my fastball. And I've said that, and it's so odd that Devers struggles so much against fastballs because he lets the baseball travel. But so often, I think pitchers have challenged him on going after him with breaking pitches and off-speed pitches. So once you get him to look for a fastball enough, then you can throw that cutter. You can even drop that drop-down angle he does with his cutter and slider. But his changeup down and in, forcing him to pull the ball, maybe pull a foul.
Well, I was going to ask you your go-tos, but perhaps that's exactly them. What you got for Tyler Anderson tonight?
I mean, it all goes down for me. It's always going down to how successful he can get some swings on that changeup. And just get him out in front with those swings on the changeup. With all the strikeouts, he's got 27 strikeouts with his changeup, but use that cutter. He can get some quick outs. You want to see some length. Bullpen's been used quite a bit. Love to get those quick outs on that cutter because they see those fastballs, boom, and that cutter is right on you. And we look at his tunneling, I said, StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud. Everything's at that same arm angle except when he drops down, he'll throw his fastball, mostly his cutter from a little lower arm angle. But the rest of the pitches, the exact same arm angle, and it makes it that much more effective.
Well, you mentioned something key for him, and that's going to be length out of your starter. Yeah. The bullpen has certainly been taxed that series in Cleveland. That's why Sam Aldeguerri is here. But if you're looking for anybody in that rotation to give you some length, it's going to be TA.
Yeah, and that's why I think that cutter should be really, really effective. Because you know he's been effective. Batting average is barely 200 versus his fastball. So have them recognize, because the cutter's in the family of a fastball, have them go out in front on that cutter and then get themselves out on the handle of the bat or towards the end of the bat. Get some quick outs, and as many as you can get. because there's going to be times you're going to pitch around at Devers during the course of the game, and that piles up your pitches. But have those quick outs with the cutter.
All right, let's see if that can be the recipe for success tonight for Tyler Edison against the Boston Red Sox. Stick with us, more to come on the other side of this break as we get you ready for first pitch from Fenway, but a special day all across baseball today, honoring the Iron Horse, Lou Gehrig. More from Fenway on Lou Gehrig and Lou Gehrig Day across Major League Baseball.
The face of the game of baseball is running through this guy right here.
That dude has electricity coming out of his pores.
You're changing the sport, man. I go out there every day and give them 100%.
Every day he does something that draws your attention.
Green is cooking with gas.
It feels like he's finally put it all together. I think Hunter Green's about to become a super ace of a playoff team. That's what the Cincinnati Reds are going to be in 2025.
We got our hands up in the air. My, oh my.
Lots of great baseball coming, and good guess, by the way.
Good luck trying to hit that, man. It's unhittable.
This is the show that never ends.
Since the dawn of baseball, every player has honed their unique skills. Who from this era will prove worthy of legend? The world watches as the journey unfolds.
Ready for my show.
For the past 2 weeks, you've been reading about a bad brag. Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
The 5th annual Lou Gehrig Day celebrated today, commemorated throughout Major League Baseball to raise awareness and research funds for ALS. And tonight at Fenway Park, all managers, players, coaches, and umpires will be wearing a special 4 decal on their uniforms designed in a Yankee uniform color and font to honor Lou Gehrig himself. Wristbands also available in-game with a special line of cards, as well as other items that will be available for auction. As we welcome you back inside the ballpark alongside Mark Gubiza, Erica Weston. Today, we celebrated across the league. Of course, we honored him yesterday in Cleveland as well, but just so important to continue to raise awareness and find a cure for ALS.
Yeah, that's what we all pray for every single day, just to find a cure. We see so many people affected with ALS on the ballpark, behind home plate today. You just feel for them and for their families, so hopefully something will develop here before too long. But Lou Gehrig was unbelievable. It was unbelievable. Consider what he was going through even towards the end of his career, and to put up the numbers and do the things he did so gracefully is unbelievable.
Yeah, I know yesterday we were talking about commemorating the 100-year anniversary, the start of his consecutive games played streak, 2,130 consecutive games.
Amazing, though, when you put that into perspective, how difficult it was. It even got to, Cal Ripken Jr. eventually passed his record, and how difficult it is to go to play every single day. Finished with 2,721 career hits. He scored 1,888 runs, hit 340 for his career, and just under 500 career home runs, too. So this is a phenomenal player. 7-time All-Star, World Series champ. And for what you hear from a lot of people that actually play with him, he's just one of the greatest human beings they've ever had as a teammate.
It's just so important to continue to commemorate Lou Gehrig, everything that he did on the field, but more importantly, everything in the fight against ALS. Of course, the number 4 will be illuminated in both broadcast booths tonight during the broadcast, but here's more on the Iron Horse, Lou Gehrig.
He was baseball's Iron Horse. A triple crown, 2 MVP awards, 7 All-Star nods, 6 World Series championships. Lou Gehrig stood at the heart of one of the most feared lineups in baseball history, but it was his quiet strength, not just his swing, that made him a legend. He played 2,130 consecutive games, a record that stood for 56 years, until something even he couldn't overcome stopped him. A diagnosis, ALS. A disease that ended his career, but not his legacy.
Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
Gehrig's courage in the face of ALS brought national attention to a little-known disease. His story galvanized support and led to the founding of ALS clinics nationwide. He showed us that greatness isn't just measured in stats, but in humility, resolve, and the way one faces life's hardest moments. Today, we remember Lou Gehrig not just for the player he was, but for the strength and inspiration he continues to give the world.
No question about it, inspiring so many, Gooby. And you mentioned that streak stood for 56 years until Cal Ripken Jr. broke it, and you wonder how long that would have gone on if not for having to take himself out of the lineup.
And he just continued to try to play through it, and with the incredible grace he did. And the baseball player was phenomenal, but the person, I think, from what I've heard and what I've seen and everything, was even better.
And today we're thinking of our friend Sarah Langs,
yes,
all across baseball.
Baseball is the best.
Baseball is the best. It's what Sarah Langs always says. So we'll be thinking about her during today's broadcast as well. More to come as we get ready for first pitch from Fenway Park. You don't want to miss this. Our guy, Matt Vasgersian, he'll be in the booth tonight. He'll join us on the pregame show next.
Talent-wise, with the Correas and the Royce Lewises and the Buxtons firing at the height of their power, they're probably the most talented team.
Royce Lewis puts his team on top.
Postseason monster, we all know that.
Grand slam, Carlos Correa.
With Byron Buxton, it's the tools, the speed, the power.
He knows one speed, and that's to go get it.
I think that we're a great team. I think we know we're a great team.
The Twins have the most talent in that division.
This is a guy who has MVP-type potential.
Luis Robert is one of the most talented players in the league.
Great nickname, La Pantera.
La Pantera can do it anywhere on the field.
He has the potential to be a 30-30 guy that can knock in 95 to 100 runs.
As a fan of the game, there's nobody I enjoy watching in center field than Mr. Luis Robert.
La Pantera.
Since its inception, the Boys and Girls Clubs have been more than a fun place for kids to go after school. For some, it's been a second home, where they can learn, play, and grow. Thanks to the partnership between Major League Baseball and Boys and Girls Clubs, children of all backgrounds have access to safe spaces. All right, let's go take a selfie. MLB Together and the Boys and Girls Clubs of America, empowering children and building futures. Bring it in.
We're calling roll on the 15 million absent students.
Their reasons why are very real.
And yet the solution is a present, caring adult to help them along their path.
When Communities in Schools is present, 99% of our students are present and ready to learn.
Angels Live on FanDuel Sports Network is presented by Spectrum, a connection built for everywhere. That's life unlimited. That's Spectrum. In closer to first pitch on this beautiful Monday evening from Fenway Park in Boston. The Angels looking to get back in the win column tonight against the Red Sox before they head back home. And we are going to join our guy on the action tonight upstairs in the booth, Matt Vasgersian. Matty V, listen, it's been tough recently for the Red Sox. The injury bug's getting them a little bit, but this week they got one guy to pay attention to, and that's Rafi Devers.
Yeah, and every team that comes through here, Erica, says the same thing. In order to beat the Red Sox, you've got to start by keeping Rafi Devers quiet. Let's think about what the Angels have had to deal with the last two series. Wrapping up the last homestand, They had to deal with Aaron Judge. Oh, and by the way, they did a pretty good job against one of the greats in the American League, and a guy who I think is going to go down as an all-time great. Judge is the Yankees' power. He is their superhero, and the Angels pitched him effectively. They kept him contained for the most part, and I think most teams would be happy with the kind of series the Angels had against Judge. Start this road trip, you can't say the same thing about having to face the Guardian star. Jose Ramirez wore out the Angels. So here we are, a third straight series where the Angels have to deal with an elite American League player. And in terms of Rafi Devers and what he's done against the Angels in the past, well, know this. He homered in his very first at-bat against the Angels, and he's homered in his most recent at-bat against the Angels. We'll take you back to April 7, 2018. Rookie Rafi Devers, just a kid. First outing against the Angels, and he's in the book. Fast forward to this past April of 2024. Last time he faced the Halos, and he got us again. He's gotten a lot of people. In fact, he's one home run shy of tying Hall of Famer Jim Rice for the most homers by a Red Sox player, 28 years old or younger. However, even a superhero has his kryptonite. And for Rafi Devers, it seems to be the heater. His slugging percentage, 250 points lower against fastballs as it is against breaking balls. His batting average, 100 points lower against fastballs than it is against breaking balls. This comes and goes in waves for him. There was a time in 2021 when he simply could not hit a fastball. And over a 4-game series against the Houston Astros, ordered 52 straight fastballs to Rafi Devers, and it worked. It tied him up. He's had years where he's been better against the heater, but this is evolving into one of those years where he's a better breaking ball hitter. What does that mean for Tyler Anderson tonight, Gooby? I would leave that for you to speculate, being the pitcher that you are. Tyler's not a guy that's going to rush it up there, a guy who features a changeup. What for you is the key for Anderson against Rafi Devers tonight?
Yeah, Matty, I mean, it makes sense. Even though he's not a guy, when you think of fastball, he's not going to be 95 to 99 miles an hour. It's going to be 87, 88, 90 miles an hour. But you look at his numbers with his fastball this season, it has been really, really good against the best of fastball hitters. I still think you got to make him hit your fastball today. And once he's aware of enough, then you can throw that changeup down underneath the hands. If he swings over top, or if he does make contact, he pulls it foul. Occasionally, that drop-down cutter going the other way, I think, could be a good pitch, too.
Well, we know that Devers...
We'll ask Neto about it.
Yeah, that's Zach. There he is.
There's Zach.
We know that he's an elite talent. I mean, not many players could start a season 0 for 21 with 15 strikeouts, as Devers did, and the walls were crashing down around him. Talk radio circuits, the blogosphere, it was all down on Rafi Devers. Well, from that, he's turned into a guy that's got a share of the Major League RBI lead with 52. American League RBI lead, that is. So the time in between the start and now has been very robust for him, and we'll see how the Angels can survive him over the next 3 days, starting tonight here in Boston, guys.
Well, Matty, you know, it seems like in talking to all the Red Sox people here in Boston, all the drama with Devers, with the injuries that they've been dealing with, seems like everything's kind of calmed down a little bit. But hey, you never know. What do you think? Maybe Ron just gives him the 4-finger wag every single time and sends him to first base, regardless of what's happening in the ballgame.
Yeah, remember when Garrett Cole did that a couple of years ago? Devers has incredible numbers against an elite American League pitcher, and he intentionally walked him a couple times, and it didn't really work out for him because that takes you off your game a bit. There's always some hand-wringing around the Red Sox. There's always some consternation that keeps Twitter popping with Red Sox takes. And the fact that Devers was asked to DH and we're told he didn't like it, and then he started out badly and now has heated up, it plays perfectly into the narrative that there's no such thing as a small story when it comes to the Old Town team here in Boston.
Great context as always,
Yes.
Matty. Appreciate it. Have a great call. Thanks for hanging with us. Yes, yeah, get on up there. All right, we're getting closer to first pitch. Coming up next on the other side of this break, we're going to take a look at Ron Washington's starting lineup tonight in Game 1 against Alex Cora's Boston Red Sox.
And it'll be the show 25, take 3.
What's up, guys? I'm Eli De La Cruz.
This is Paul Skeens.
Gunnar Henderson here. I am super excited to be sharing the cover of MLB The Show 25.
But we're gonna play for real?
This is the fun part right here. It's a huge honor to be on the cover with 2 great athletes.
Welcome to the show.
That's a wrap.
I
I want to talk about the Angels. They're my big surprise team of 2025.
The Angels make sure the halo will shine brightly tonight.
The energy level and the swag and the confidence.
It is Trevor here.
Game's on notice.
Magneto magnificent.
High octane. It is fuel. It is hot. It's coming at you in a big way.
It was 105.5 miles an hour.
No way.
And the Halos are unstoppable right now.
Let's talk Orioles. A powerhouse and getting better.
They have a lot of young players, and you know they're going to take another step.
High, deep, way out of here. That ball was barbecue.
Leave it up to the kid to do something special.
These guys are superstar players.
Talk about smacking the opponent in the mouth from pitch one.
That's the day in, day out, and finding a way to win.
They've done an incredible job of bringing up this homegrown talent.
Take a bow, young man. The good vibes are back in Baltimore.
Sports Network is presented by Spectrum, a connection built for everywhere. That's life unlimited. That's Spectrum. Beautiful night for baseball tonight from Fenway Park. First of 3 this week as we take a look at Ron Washington's starting lineup tonight. Zach Neto, Nolan Shawneewell, Taylor Ward leading things off with Jorge Soler in right field tonight. Look who's back. Mike Trout, number 27, back in the lineup tonight, hitting 5th. He's your DH tonight with Logan O'Hoppe catching. Joe Adell in center field with Rengifo and Scott Kingery rounding things out for the Halos infield. Thanks for joining us on Angels Live pregame. Coming up, Matt Vasgersian and Mark Gubicza on the call. Enjoy the game. We'll see you throughout the evening.
We do not talk about this superstar enough, and that's Rafael Devers.
6th straight game with a home run.
Jarren Duran is an extra base machine.
I've just always been like that guy that keeps his head down and works hard.
Swing out of his. Crochet's got that kind of electric stuff.
This green monster is tailor-made for Alex Bregman's swing. Great fit for Bregman, great fit for the Red Sox.
This was the piece that they really needed.
The guy's a winner. He's got all the talent.
The Red Sox are a much better team this year than they were last year.
There's a unicorn in Hollywood.
The lineup we know is incredibly deep, but that starting rotation is unlike anything I can remember.
I got them running the National League.
I think this is the first of like 4 or 5 straight world championships. This is just an incredible wealth of riches.
Shohei Ohtani! He's in a world of his own! Strike 3 swinging. It's a dozen strikeouts for Tyler Glasnow. Walk-off win!
The 611 Podcast meets MLB Network. Join longtime teammates and former MVPs Jimmy Rollins and Ryan Howard, plus other former players for unfiltered conversations about baseball, culture, and life. Only on MLB Network.
Curtis?
Next week?
This is nice.
This is nice. It's all coming together.
Connect first, unpack later. Set up in minutes with self-install from Spectrum.
Subway's meal of the day gives you 7 of our most...
There's a shot. This is really becoming ridiculous. 3-home run day for Aaron Judge.
Bronx Bombers are back.
Judge cranks one. Incredible. The show rolls on for Aaron Judge.
He isn't a generational player.
He's a special, special talent.
He's going to go down as the greatest Yankee of all time.
that starting rotation, it doesn't get better than that.
Dominating night from Logan Gilbert.
Trying to be out there and take the ball as much as I can.
Swing and a miss against Luis Castillo.
It's wipeout stuff.
He's a legit ace. Talk about depth.
You're watching FanDuel Sports Network, the home of the Clippers, Kings, and Angels.
The first of three as the Angels' 6-game road trip continues. Welcome to friendly Fenway, the oldest park in the American League. History around every corner, and hopefully for the Angels a chance to get on track. Tonight's game presented by Morongo. And welcome inside the broadcast booth at historic Fenway Park with Mark Gubazza and Erica Weston, Matt Vasgersian. Always nice to be back here in Boston, and nice weather for a change on the road.
Yeah, Matty, it seems like we've been opening up the season up here where it's a little bit cold, little rain, but it's a perfect week here to be able to play in Fenway Park. Always one of the best venues in all of sports.
That's right. After the trip in Cleveland that yielded one loss, there were some positives, most notably Mike Trout, 5 for 10, getting it back together. Trout in the lineup here tonight and looking to continue a nice hot stretch after coming off the IL.
You know, Matty, it was all about his timing and using his hands. 5 for 10, even when you think about it, 3 of his outs were over 103 miles per hour exit velocity. So he was on a lot of pitches, whether it's changeup, which was good to see him hit a changeup against a right-handed pitcher for an RBI double there, but it's also hitting fastball. So he's swinging the bat well. And in this ballpark, only 1 career home run, but a .294 career hitter in this yard.
So as the Red Sox have to worry about Mike Trout, the Angels have a guy to worry about on the other side of the scorecard. Rafi Devers started out the season, Gooby, 0 for 21 with 15 strikeouts. From that to this day in June, he's got a share of the American League's RBI lead.
Yeah, when you go through Aaron Judge, you got Jose Ramirez. Now you have to deal with Devers. I mean, 52 RBIs tops in the game right now. He's got 12 home runs. He's a doubles machine. 5 career doubles against the Halos, including 11 career home runs against Halo pitching. So he's always a dangerous hitter, and he does a real good job of going the other way, too.
It'll be the responsibility of Tyler Anderson tonight for the Angels, guy who's made a couple of career starts in this ballpark and probably doesn't have a whole lot of kind things to say about them. A chance for him to reverse that narrative tonight and open up this 3-gamer in Boston. We'll profile his evening at Fenway right after this.
The power of baseball goes beyond the field.
We're able to use our platform and let these kids know that dreams are reachable.
It's very important to leave something behind to show our gratitude.
Stand up to cancer.
We are exactly your opposite.
Together.
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 There's an easier way. From little fixes to big projects, taking care of your home is easy with Thumbtack. Download the Thumbtack app and start caring for your home today.
Your day in baseball starts with MLB Central.
Let's get it started.
Lead off your morning with in-depth breakdowns.
Perfect balance.
Boom.
Interviews with the players.
Get back to the fastball.
I know what that passion feels like.
And a little bit.
Keeping.
You behave properly.
Hey.
Of everything else.
Come on, Marlins.
The window seats are. The baseball day begins with MLB Central. Weekdays at 10 a.m. Eastern. Only on MLB Network.
If you're not watching this show, you're the problem.
Angels baseball on FanDuel Sports Network is brought to you by Hyundai. With a brand new Hyundai, there's joy in every journey. By the OC Healthcare Agency, navigate to a healthier you at angels.ocnavigator.org. And by Morongo, celebrating 20 years of good times. Good times on the Back Bay. And good times here at Fenway Park. That's the hope for the Angels over the next 3 days. Tyler Anderson takes the ball for game one. Coming off a start on Tuesday against the Yankees, Gooby, in which he deserved a better fate. 6 strong innings, only 1 earned run. Scattered 5 hits, yet didn't have much support in a 3-2 loss.
Overall, Matty, he's been great all season long, but he threw the ball exceptionally well against the Yankees. Threw a lot of strikes. His 4-seamer and changeup were very, very good with 3 strikeouts. When you look at what he did with those 4-seamer and changeup usage, at 68%, 73% strikes. He got 15 outs. The big thing, though, 10 swing and misses with those 2 pitches, which you're going to have against this lineup here. Especially, I always believe in this ballpark, you got to really make sure you make quality pitches, but you also have to pitch inside to both the lefties and the righties in this yard.
Our favorite Tyler Anderson stat, the Angels have won 8 of his 11 starts. So let's try to keep that going here tonight. Popcorn Peanuts, Fenway Franks, and lineups in first pitch from Fenway Park next.
The power of baseball goes beyond the field.
We're able to use our platform and let these kids know that dreams are reachable.
It's very important to leave something behind to show our gratitude.
Stand up to cancer.
We are Yankee Robinsons.
Together.
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 The Mets were a great story last season. You got to think the expectations are sky high. They know that they're built to win.
I love the additions.
Juan Soto to the Mets. It's real.
This is landscape changing.
That changes the arc of the Mets.
We want to make a dynasty.
Really like their bullpen a lot.
It's going to take everything from everybody.
We got to stay together and we got to post up.
Introducing baseball's all-new national pregame show, MLB Tonight, live at 5. Join Greg, Harold, and Dan, and a star-studded roster for a preview of all the night's matchups. Get a first look at the lineups.
Everything looks good right now for the Yankees.
First take from the players.
I'm just excited to put any pair of cleats on.
And the first of many breakdowns every game night. A full night of baseball starts at 5. MLB Tonight's national pregame show, live at 5 Eastern on MLB Network.
Not one lesson. Welcome back to Fenway. Always kind of a college football flavor on a game day when the Red Sox are in town. And the Angels get ready to kick off a 3-game series on Lou Gehrig Day on this Monday. And Mike Trout, as always, gracious and courteous with fans, signing whatever's put in front of his face. And he has made a couple of fans' days once again today.
You know, Matty, I was down there, and you think Mike Trout would sign autographs? Said, just hang there long enough. I guarantee you will. And Trout's there every single day, and the smiles on the fans' face. You can see that right there when Trout signs that autograph.
Trouty batting 5th in the Angels' Theodore Robbins starting lineup here tonight. Zach Neto would lead things off. First career hit was collected here at Fenway Park. Nolan Shonowell coming off a good series in Cleveland. Taylor Ward batting number 3. Jorge Soler, Mike Trout, Logan O'Hoppe in the middle of the card. Joe Adell, Luis Rengifo, and Scott Kingery rounded out for an Angels lineup that has done a really good job collecting extra base hits. Only the Yankees have a higher percentage of hits for extra bases in the American League.
Always feels like it would be that case here in this ballpark too, Matty, in this short dimensions, but also you have all the spacious outfield in the alleys.
On the mound for the Red Sox, making his 5th start of the year and his 2nd since being activated off the injured list, is the young right-hander Richard Fitts.
Yeah, his fastball is 92, 96. He'll throw a slider, he'll throw a sweeper, he'll throw a curveball, and a changeup. My go-tos to have success against them tonight. They have not seen him before. His right center approach versus his slider, 286 batting average versus that pitch, and get your hands extended on the fastball. As mentioned about get those arms out there, especially if it's out over the plate, and that's when you can hook it up there above the green monster.
Yeah, not sure how much of him we're going to see tonight because, again, he only pitched 3 innings in his first start off the IL on Tuesday, and we'll talk about that as we continue tonight.
And the defense behind him, he's around the strike zone quite a bit, so the defense for Red Sox, especially in this ballpark, you got Duran out in left field. He can cover a lot of. Rafael is in phenomenal center field. Russ Snyder in right field. Also a difficult place to play is right field in Fenway Park. In the infield, you have over there at third base, you got Toro. He's been around a long, long time. Trevor Story back, and it's good to see that. Campbell, Gonzalez behind the plate. Navaez, and you go back out to center field for Rafael. He has 10 defensive runs saved out in center field already this season. That is unreal.
Must-see defender who has been entrusted with maybe the hardest center field in the sport. Between the caroms off the green monster, what they call the triangle at 420 to right center, and certainly in the daytime, unusual sun conditions, though none exist tonight. It's a tough center field to play. Something to watch on both sides of the scorecard tonight. Neto, Shonowell, and Ward ready to go to work for the Angels. And hoping to get back on track after dropping Saturday and Sunday in Cleveland. The win on Friday put the Angels in a pretty good spot to win their first series at Cleveland in over 10 years. But the weekend didn't go their way as they take a little additional time tonight, because I'm not sure what's being cleared down the right field corner.
Yeah, a few more people leaving the ballpark. I mean, leaving the playing surface, I should say, going into the stands now.
Manager Alex Cora, winner of the 2018 World Series, and answering a lot of questions these days about bringing up young players, something we'll get into as we continue this evening. Underway at Fenway, Fitt's first pitch of the ball game is fouled off by Zach Neto.
I like seeing that again, but Neto, he's been aggressive on the first pitch in his career with a lot of success on the first pitch, but just fouled that one off. He was taking a few of those first pitches in Cleveland.
These first at-bats for Zach are when he does his best slug work. .692 slugging percentage in his first plate appearance of the game, and that's 10th best in that category across Major League Baseball. So looking to do damage early against a guy who has not given up a lot of damage. 20 innings for Richard Fitts at the big league level this year. He's allowed just 2 homers. Respectable ERA under 3. That's off the plate. It's a ball and 2 strikes on Neto.
Pretty tough slider. He's got about a 20% whiff percentage on that one, but more so on his sweeper.
You know, we talk about for Tyler Anderson how he was victimized by a lack of run support last time around. Richard Fitts has equal complaints. He has received a total of 5 runs of support in his 4 starts this year. Awfully hard to get wins. Neto with a swing and a drive out to left field. That one's hit a ton, and that first plate appearance slug number goes up and over the monster to start the ball game. 1-0 Halos.
That's his 5th leadoff home run of the season for Magneto. Well, you talking about jumping on a pitch. 35-degree launch angle, going 103 off the bats, giving him now double figures in home runs and doubles already this season after missing some time on the IL with that surgery on his labrum in the right shoulder.
Boy, almost on cue. Talking about his first plate appearance slug numbers. A top of the first inning leadoff home run for Zach Neto. Here's Nolan Shonowell now. Strike a pose, young bull.
Yes. I think Erica might have something to say about him being in Fenway Park here today, too. I think. I'm suspecting that might happen.
Weekend was not a good one for Zach. He was frustrated in Cleveland after a pretty good opener on Friday. He gets this series off to a terrific start with a leadoff homer. Heater misses off the plate. Nolan Shonowell in front 3-0. He drew 3 walks in the series in Cleveland, part of a 3-for-11 stay.
He's been really, really patient, works the strike zone exceptionally well.
3-0 from Fitz is on the corner, 3-1. You know, we mentioned that Richard Fitz might not be around for a really long one tonight. He last pitched on Tuesday in Milwaukee, 3 shutout innings, scattered 2 hits, threw only 44 pitches. And that's a full count now to Shonowell. He had just come off the IL because of a pectoral strain. And the plan for him today is perhaps 3 to 4 innings, and then being piggybacked by Hunter Dobbins, who's made a couple of starts this year as well. And the Red Sox hope to get through 8 innings with those 2 players.
He was able to fight that one off.
Well, they always look pretty in this ballpark, don't they?
Well, it stayed upstairs, a little hanger over the plate, and the balance, it was in super quick to lift that elevated pitch out that far, that easily. Great swing by Neto.
Still a full count to Shonowell, as per usual. Nolan in there for a long plate appearance. Did that get the Lansdowne Street? No, it just checked up at the railing. Shoot.
Hopefully they threw it in and Neto will be able to keep that baseball.
And there's ball 4. Another long, productive at-bat for Nolan Shonowell. You mentioned that Erica would have something to say about the Neto homer. Let's hear it, Erica. What do we got?
It's probably going to let everybody down. But as you mentioned, it was a tough weekend for him in Cleveland, and he was kind of wearing it on his sleeve, too. Offensively, not really what we've seen from him defensively. Some miscues as well. But you walked into the clubhouse this afternoon. It was the typical, normal Zach Neto energy that we see on his face right now. And I said, something looks different about you today. And he just basically told me, you know where we are. You know what happened here, right? Yes, of course we know. He made his debut here, and he got his first hit here in 2023 as well. So he's just so excited to be back here. And I was thinking about making your major league debut is special regardless, but doing it in a historic ballpark here makes it extra special for him.
I would imagine it's understandable joy that he's got now. There's a knock into the opposite field off the bat of Taylor Ward. Shonowell to third.
Good read by Shonowell. I know that ball was not going to be able to be caught, and he easily got the third base on that. Not exactly squared up by Taylor Ward, but hit at the right spot. He reads it, knows it's down, especially the way the right fielder Ruff Schneider is playing pretty deep in right field. It easily cruises to third base. Nice job by Shonowell.
Homer, single, walk is how the Angels have started this one in the top of the first. So still without an out on the board. Fitz will go to work on Jorge Soler. Soler coming off a 2-for-8 series in Cleveland with a homer. Mike Trout due up next for the Angels. Already been a productive start to the night.
Amazing, though, with that home run by Zach Neto, his first here in this ballpark. Mike Trout has won in this ballpark too, which is pretty amazing. But some other good numbers for Trout in this yard on
You
that.
want my hot take for the week?
Yes.
That's going to change.
Oh, I like it. Like it.
Feel good about that number changing. Counts 2 balls and a strike to Jorge Soler.
And our Hyundai key for the game today. We're in Boston, so we have that Boston. More than a feeling, and you have more than a feeling now about Mike Trout, but also going up there with a game plan of what you're going to try to do against Fitz, and then eventually the bullpen here today for the Red Sox.
2 balls and 2 strikes account to Jorge Soler.
I know you like that song. That's your wheelhouse.
Yeah, right there. I'm glad you got back into something comfortable for me. You were way out in another world in Cleveland.
Well, does that shock you?
2 balls and 2 strikes. And a full count.
And I don't think I would send Taylor Ward here now on a 3-2 count. Not with Mike Trout on deck.
4 batters faced.
EY is back.
2 full counts. Yeah, Eric Young Jr. back after attending his son's graduation over the weekend. You wonder after a start like this for Fitz, and again, he only went 3 innings last time around, missed some time with a pec strain. You wonder if the Red Sox don't perhaps scatter their bullpen a little earlier than the way they had planned. I mean, he's still got some canvas to try to straighten it out. We're very early in the game, but he has not pitched to an out yet.
Ooh, he had a good swing there too. On a fastball, 95-mile-an-hour fastball.
So back-to-back fastballs on a full count.
And when you see a swing like that, I know when I'm on the mound, I'm going, you know what, I'm going to throw a little wrinkle. I'm going to try either a sweeper or a slider here.
An 8-pitch at-bat to Shonowell resulted in a walk. Here's the 8th pitch of the plate appearance to Jorge Soler. Bouncer to third, clank! Everybody's safe, 2-0 Angels.
Soler will get an RBI on that. It'll be an E5. Toro at third base. Play back on that one too. That's what happened.
A routine play that Toro can't handle. Boy, this has been a problem for the Red Sox the last couple of years, Gooby. It's not a secret. They've led the league in errors each of the last 2 seasons. They've got an American League high 49 this year already, when you count that one by Toro.
It's amazing. I watched Alex Corey out there hitting ground balls to him all afternoon long.
Well, the absence of Alex Bregman is felt on both sides of the scorecard for the Red Sox, and now a big opportunity for Mike Trout. 2 runs already in, first and second, and nobody out. Again, Mike 5 for 10 in his comeback to the active lineup in Cleveland. And it involved his first RBI as a pinch hitter.
That is amazing, though.
972 as a starter. And Trout fouls that one away. It's a ball and a strike.
Well, you know he had a good hack there and a good pitch to do some damage to it.
Mike begins play tonight with 1,674 hits. And that puts him 2 behind Angels Hall of Famer Tim Salmon for second place on the all-time franchise list. 2-1. How does Richard Fitz feel about his sweeper? Because he's in a fastball count here against a guy that will murder a fastball down around the knees.
Yeah, if he gets that breaker ball down there too, it's a good chance it's going to be hit really hard. Off the plate, good take again.
Missed with his sweeper.
They've done a nice job already in this first inning, not going and expanding out of the strike zone. So already 27 pitches thrown for Fitz. No outs.
3-1 to Trout. Runners at first and second. 2 runs in, nobody out. Mike swings and sends a drive out to left center field. Yeah, baby! Get that one up over the monster. Mike Trout's 10th of the year. Do I see 454 feet?
Yes, you do. It more than a feeling he was going to do it. Good job, Matty. It's amazing, though. Just 1 career home run in this yard. And by the way, Mike Trout, he's back. That ball was smashed a long, long way. 112 off the bat.
5-0 Angels. Still nobody out. The 3-time MVP feeling pretty good on this day in June.
Zach Neto passes off that fireman hat to Mike Trout. You know he's feeling good. More than a feeling.
You were on point with that one.
That ball is crushed.
Absolutely crushed. I think that got out over the monster onto Lansdowne Street. Am I right? We're going to rack up another look at that in a moment. TV term for you, rack up.
Yeah, that would add out of there.
Here we go. Man.
I'm going to run out in the street right now. I'll be right back and get that baseball.
There's Logan O'Hoppe now. Still nobody out. 5-0 Angels. And O'Hoppe's in swing mode. All right, let's watch the flight of this. 454 feet later, Mike knew it. Everybody in the ballpark knew it. Only question is, would it get onto the street? Oh, 2 the count to O'Hoppe. We're making you wait for it. And
yes.
Oh, it got knocked down by the light stanchion. Oh.
Just need the sparking lights at that point. The natural Mike Trout.
Ball and 2 strikes to O'Hoppe. 2-2 now. And Fitz clearly having some trouble to navigate the early stages of this one.
Well, we often talk about that when there's a blast to center field, it reminds us a lot of Bo Jackson hitting a home run at the Big A.
Little flare that's handled by Gonzalez at first base.
I also remember against Oil Can Boyd that Bo Jackson hit one almost the exact same spot that Mike Trout hit there in this ballpark.
Did you hear the rather tongue-in-cheek round of applause come out of the stands for the first out of the game?
I was trying to cover it up for him since we're not in the Bronx, so I figured I'd try to cover it up.
That's a long way out there, folks.
Yes.
Oh, man, I would have loved to have seen that ball land on the street. Maybe that one lands on the street. Oh man! Joe Adell with a long solo shot.
Joe Adell says hello to that street. Boy, he is starting to get locked in, and he's starting to crush fastballs. Boy, when you see that from Joe Adell, you love that. Another crushed fastball for Adell. That went 404. That's 3 here in the first inning.
I got to tell you, I'm not sure I'd want to be Luis Rengifo right now. He'd have a target on his hip. 3rd homer of the inning by the Angels. 1 out in the first and nobody up in the Boston bullpen. Rengifo into the opposite field. Boy, that ball was hit hard, and Duran makes a good play on the run.
I mean, this fastball is just right down Broadway, and he crushed that ball. That's smashed by Adell. Yeah, they're just looking touchdown. That would be a hat trick in the first inning for the Halos.
Oh, man, I want that ball back for Joe. Scott Kingery is the 9th Angel to bat in the inning. 6 runs in with 2 away.
So now with 8 home runs on the season, that's the 4th home run that Joe Adell has hit versus a fastball.
Ball and a strike to Scott. His double in Cleveland over the weekend, his first hit at the major league level since 2021. And you couldn't wipe the smile off his face. It's a good play by Trevor Story in the hole. Throw to first. Puts an end to a very fun, productive top of the inning for the Halos. 3 homers. Neto. Trout and Adell goes out on the street. 6-0 Halos.
Wearing regular shoes feels this cramped. Or glide step wide fit hands-free Skechers slip-ins feel like this. With Skechers slip-ins, just step in, no bending down, no touching my shoes. Try wide fit Skechers slip-ins.
Hey, Chicago, what do you say? Cubs are going to win today.
This is their chance to have another run. This is their time.
This is the Cubs division to lose this year.
They need to be singing the song quite a bit this year.
That's hammered. Kyle Tucker, welcome to the Cubs. Anthony Swanson.
He's one of the most talented ball players.
Pete Crow Armstrong, what a stud.
Showed at Imanaga, it's about falling in love with him.
Seiya Suzuki with a grand slam.
And this is when you put the pedal to the metal.
I think we got a really good team.
Man, these seats. Right? I wonder how the other guys are doing.
I spent hours finding a deal on these.
Trash. You should have used Game Time. The easiest way to find only the best deals for the best seats with their Game Time picks. What time is it? Game Time.
Good 20 minutes or so. The Angels scored 6 in the top of the first on 3 homers, including a 424-foot blast by Mike Trout to give Tyler Anderson a big lead to start the game with. Jarren Duran, the first to hit for the Red Sox, and attempt a big comeback process. Deep hole to start the game.
But as a pitcher, you just got to think it's a 0-0 game. Don't change anything as far as your preparation and going after this Red Sox lineup.
Ball and a strike to Duran will set the rest of the Red Sox lineup for you in a moment. We talked about Tyler's last start, really good on Tuesday against the Yankees. Didn't get a whole lot of support in a 3-2 loss. He has been supported and then some to start this game. There's a fly ball for Joe Adell. Let's take a look at the rest of Alex Cora's Boston lineup today. Rafi Devers, the 3-time All-Star, will DH in the 2 spot. Rob Refsnyder, rookie Carlos Narvaez, Romy Gonzalez, and Abraham Toro bat 4 through 6. Trevor Story, Cedane Rafaela, and rookie Christian Campbell round things out for Boston. Start of play, Rafi Devers had a share of the American League RBI lead with 52. Leads the American League in walks as well. Not bad for a guy that started out 0 for 21 with 15 strikeouts this year. The Red Sox as a team have been a little hit and miss offensively this season. Another chance for Joe, and there are 2 gone.
Yeah, good read off the bat by Joe Adell. And my go-tos for Tyler Anderson. Have a solid game here against the Red Sox. It's been a tough ballpark for him, but he's been throwing the ball well all season long. My go-tos from have some solid is use that cutter for some quick outs and an out in front swing on his changeup. 27 punch outs on his changeup this season, but those quick outs on the cutter allow him to get deep in the game, give the bullpen a little bit of a rest.
2 quick outs for Tyler in the bottom of the first. Here's Rob Refsnyder now. Refsnyder, veteran right-handed batter, has found a recent home run stroke. He's homered in 4 of his last 9 starts. But back to Boston as a lineup. They rank in Major League Baseball's top 5 in hits, doubles, and total bases. I think it's important to note, however, that this lineup that the Angels will face this week is very different from the group that played in April and much of May. Notable omissions. Power hitting left-hander first baseman Tristan Casas lost for the year. And Alex Bregman, the big prize in the free agent market over the winter, who meant so much to their lineup and defense, has no timeline for a return because of a quad injury.
And he was swinging the bat really well for the Red Sox, too.
Boston has really struggled to find protection for Devers.
There's that chase on a changeup.
All right. Way to bounce back.
The face of the game of baseball is running through this guy right here.
That dude has electricity coming out of his pores.
You're changing the sport, man. I go out there every day and give them 100%.
Every day he does something that draws your attention. Green is cooking with gas.
It feels like he's finally put it all together. I think Hunter Green's about to become a super ace of a playoff team. That's what the Cincinnati Reds are going to be in 2025.
Never clean your gutters again with LeafGuard. LeafGuard's seamless design keeps leaves, pests, and sediment out while directing water away from your home, preventing wood rot and foundation decay, giving you peace of mind that your home and family are protected from water damage with the industry's premier maintenance-free gutter system. Call 844-6LeafGuard right now for 75% off installation plus $200 off your purchase. LeafGuard, get it today. Protected for life.
Six 6-0 Angels after a 3-homer top of the first, and it has forced Alex Cora's hand much earlier than he would have guessed. Hunter Dobbins must have been throwing down underneath. We told you that they were going to piggyback Dobbins and Fitz today. We just didn't think Dobbins is going to be in the ballgame this early. He did not throw in the bullpen for the Red Sox, but he's ready to roll and enters in a 6-0 Angels lead here in the second. Same group that led off the ball game: Neto, Shawnuel, and Ward.
You feel pretty good about the way your offense is going when your leadoff hitters batting already in the second inning, leading off an inning. Dobbins, he has got a fastball, four-seam fastball, curveball, slider, and splitter.
This place has been around for over 100 years, Fenway Park. And the Angels did something in the first inning that no visiting team has ever done. A 3-homer top of the first.
Really?
Never been done before in Fenway Park history. Neto with the drive the other way. Plenty of room for Ref Snyder out there in right.
Now, going back in history?
In history. Which is pretty incredible.
We've said that a lot this year for some reason. Halos have been involved in a lot of historical moments and games, but that's unbelievable. As long as this ballpark has been here, first time ever, 3 home runs in the first inning by a visiting club.
I find it hard to believe myself.
Especially, I pitched here a lot. I was surprised I didn't help out.
0-1 the count to Nolan Shawnuel. It is the 7th time since 1974, if we could get into some fun minutia, that the Angels have had a 3-homer top of the first. The last time it happened, Mike Trout was also involved. Cole Calhoun, Mike Trout, Albert Pujols a number of years ago. Shawnuel sends a high fly ball out to center. And there are 2 away.
And there was some serious distance on those home runs. Let's take a look at our StatCast being powered by Google Cloud. Common theme, all those pitches. 2 fastballs, 1 breaking ball, slider upstairs, and everyone was crushed over the green monster by an awful lot. Some serious distance. Yes song, long distance, run around.
Oh, nice.
You always got to get your music going there.
Good.
I know you like that, man.
That's good. 0-1 the count to Taylor Ward.
I'm still in shock. The first visiting team in history to homer in the first inning, 3 home runs.
Well, if we're wrong, I'm sure somebody's going to find out soon and put it on Twitter or X. But that came right off of a very reliable research service.
It's well over 1,200 feet, too.
Hunter Dobbins gets through that same part of the lineup in order in the second.
If you know luxury, it's not just award-winning, it's rewarding. Saatva Mattresses supports all types of sleepers. Luxury is handcrafted and assembled in American factories and brought directly to you with our complimentary in-home delivery and setup service. Which is why over 90% of customers would recommend Saatva to friends and family. Saatva, luxury mattresses made affordable.
The true West has no fences. There's an edge, but you gotta find it. Find comfort from the traditions that help define it, and the confidence from having the courage to defy it. But being brave isn't about being different. It's about being yourself. Now, we might not need more people in the West, but would it hurt to have a little more West in the people?
Welcome back to Fenway. Fun start for the Halos tonight, but some news and transactions before today's game. They placed Robert Stevenson on the injured list with right biceps inflammation. Yohan Moncada also on the injured list with right knee inflammation. But tough news for Robert Stevenson, who we spoke to before today's game, and he was very emotional talking about it. Obviously, we know he just made his Angels debut a couple of days prior, but they're shutting him down for now just to see where he goes. He did play catch yesterday, felt the same issue. It's not really pain or anything, just in a weird spot right in the middle of his bicep, and he said if he were to ramp it up, it would be uncomfortable, but very emotional. He said he was devastated to work as hard as he did to get back, and then to have that happen right away, it just sucks. He said the medical staff doesn't seem too worried, so that's the good news, and he said he's just going to trust the professionals for now, but really hard news for him. He said he just wants to be out there with his teammates, guys.
Yeah, that's really difficult, how hard he worked to get back out there, to be part of this team, and the guys just having him around, calling him Bob, everything about that was just so impressive to get back, and the way he threw the ball against the Yankees was off the charts.
That's a foul ball in right. Carlos Narvaez doing what he should be doing, and that's running it out. It's very tricky optically down there, but there was a clear foul ball signal.
That's such a tough call, because it's right down the line, the padding, because that white line doesn't go along the padding there too.
Narvaez didn't want to believe it. He's just now leaving second base.
That's why I said this ballpark is so tough to play defense here. But it's also, you're never comfortable how many runs you score. You just got to keep adding on in this yard.
That's a good point. Count's going to be a ball and 2 strikes on the rookie catcher Carlos Narvaez. Narvaez, Romy Gonzalez, and Abraham Toro for Boston in the second. This is a capable Boston lineup, despite the absences that we noted last inning.
One good thing when you get this lead like this too, Matty, they have 54 stolen bases, but with a 6-0 deficit, Alex Cora may be putting on the brakes as far as trying to take that stolen base and be part of their equation as far as scoring runs.
Yeah, that's a good point. You're taking one of their chess pieces off the board at this point. 2 balls and 2 strikes, the count to Narvaez. Carlos Narvaez has turned into the 2 out of 3, if not 3 out of 4 game catcher for the Red Sox. Connor Wong's been here for a couple of years, a guy that Alex Cora likes. But the rookie has shown some real offensive upside, which was something that the Red Sox weren't necessarily counting on with him. His defense was a known commodity.
I don't think he can hold off and not go after a changeup if he goes that same plane. It looks like he might go fastball here though.
3-2. Fastball center cut that's fouled away. I wanted to ask you about Anderson's fastball, because you and I, in preparing for the game today, were looking at the same stuff. His velo on his 4-seam fastball is down, yet the results on that pitch have been better. Is there anything to that, or is it a coincidence? Oh boy. High fly ball.
I think he got it in him just enough on that one.
A little too high.
And that's part of the reason why it's right on cue. I was just going to say, he's been able to throw that fastball on the inside part of the plate. He goes in the upper quadrants of the strike zone. So even though you see it well as a hitter, it's still a little more difficult to bring your hands up and make good solid contact. When he's down with that fastball, it gets hit. But when he rides it up the upper quadrants, it's been very, very effective. I think a guy like a Joe Ryan for the Minnesota Twins, not overpowering. He's in the low to mid 90s, but it's rise upstairs. Right. And it's tough to hit. Same thing with Tyler Anderson's fastball upstairs.
Romy Gonzalez just activated off the injured list today. He was on the 15-day IL because of a quad injury. This is one of their better weapons against left-handed pitching. He's got a .391 on base percentage against left-handers this year. And one of the many players that they're giving an audition to at first base in the absence of Tristan Casas. Chopper to third that eats up Rengifo.
Check out the our Nissan defense for the Halos in this ballpark. Nowhere easy to play as far as in the outfield position. Taylor Ward in left, Joe Adell in center, Jorge Soler out in right field. Seeing Rengifo there at third, Zach Neto at short. Scott Kingery's been really solid playing defense at second. Nolan Shawnwell at first, and behind plate, Logan O'Hoppe. But Taylor Ward out in the outfield. He's already has 111 putouts so far in left field. This is not an easy outfield. Does have one outfield assist already a play in the outfield today.
Romy Gonzalez credited with a base hit on that ball that was past Rengifo. So 1 out, 1 on now for the switch hitter, Abraham Toro. Toro's hit safely in 3 in a row, 6 of 12 during that stretch. He's hit safely in 12 of his last 14 games. Veteran player who was in Red Sox camp without a whole lot of acclaim, because the assumption was that maybe he'd be a veteran guy who could start the season at Worcester AAA. Maybe he'd end up somewhere else on an opening day roster, but because of the injuries, here he is. And a good block by O'Hoppe.
Especially when you're not expecting that pitch that far off the plate.
Part of the damage in that Angels half of the first was the error charged to Toro on Soler's hot shot, put an additional runner in board in front of Trout's homer.
Trout with now 10 home runs. You have Neto with double figures in home runs to go along with O'Hoppe and Ward. Pretty amazing. And Joe Adell just 2 away from himself the way he's swinging the bat.
Did you see that last pass? You can be late on a 77-mile-an-hour changeup.
Yes.
Apparently.
That's the beauty of his pitching ability. You know, you go looking change up or you look fastball, and he's such a great job as far as never giving a hitter an idea which of those two he's really going to go out there with you. And when he tunnels his pitches, they took a look at our StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud. The same exact arm angle, that tunneling on his pitches between his cutter, changeup, and 4-seam fastball. And he'll drop down a little bit every once in a while with his cutter, but for the most part, it's that same exact arm slide on all his pitches, which makes it difficult for hitters to read, because sometimes with a changeup, you'll do something a little different than your 4-seamer.
Still 2 balls and 2 strikes on Abraham Toro. One out, 1 on. Trevor Story waiting on deck for Boston in a 6-0 Angels lead early tonight. 3 Angel homers in the first, and Toro shoots that one into right field. You know, maybe it doesn't even get to that pitch if Shawnwell didn't have a moving pick set for him. Look at first base coach Jose Flores. Kind of got out of the way. He got caught off guard. I'm not sure Nolan would have had a play on that.
Yeah, but still, I mean, it's not a bad play by a first base coach just to get in the way.
First and second now for Boston.
We're seeing that a lot in the NBA playoffs, how you have that little moving pick.
If you can figure out how an NBA game is officiated, you let me know. Let the world know. Swing and a miss by Trevor Story. 2 for 4 against Anderson in his career. And with a batting average this season that slipped down to 222. Chopper for Neto could be a double play ball. Kingery. The relay brings Shawnwell off the bag.
Well,
Angels get only 1.
Looked like I was going to be the first double play turn behind Tyler Anderson this season. You can never assume a double play, so this won't end up being an error on this one, but it looked like he had a real good shot. First Story still runs pretty well. Looked like on the transfer, just lost the handle, the grip of the baseball for Scott Kingery.
Yeah, good throw gets him. Angels have turned a major league high 62 double plays this year. It's always a good news, bad news thing to lead the league in. Good that you're executing, bad that there are people on base all the time. Here's Cedane Rafaela now. The Boston center fielders hit safely in 5 in a row.
It's like that one stat in hockey that it blocked the most shots. Well, that means the other team, your opponent, has the puck the most, so that's why you have the most block shots in hockey. So that's never a good thing.
Same thing.
Not that I remember that, because I saw that the Flyers led the league in block shots one year. I said that means their opponent had the puck all the time. Yeah, I'll let it go some point.
I was going to say, you're hanging on to 1970s Flyers analogies.
Yes.
Ball and a strike to count to Raffaello. Checked it. Did not go around on the appeal. Wow, okay.
Looked like he went on that one.
And he's a little surprised. Raphael is a guy who gets to swing in early. He's one of those players who is very hard to walk. Super aggressive at the plate. In fact, he's got 14 strikeouts of just 3 pitches.
Also, already in this game, Tyler Anderson with 3 swing and misses on his changeup. This might be a good time to see if you get number 4.
Two balls and 2 strikes.
Trevor Story, 9 stolen bases this season, has not been caught.
And not only do the Red Sox steal a lot in volume, their success rate of 80% is also very good. Both top 10 figures. And Raffaella pops it up. Sean Noel at the cutout to retire the side. 2 runners left stranded. 6-0 lead in check.
Hey, Chicago, what do you say? Cubs are going to win today.
This is their chance to have another run. This is their time.
This is the Cubs division to lose this year.
They need to be singing the song quite a bit this year.
That's hammered. Kyle Tucker, welcome to the Cubs. Dansby swats it.
He's one of the most talented ball players.
Pete Crow Armstrong, what a stud.
Showed it Imanaga. It's about falling in love with him.
Seiya Suzuki with a grand slam.
And this is when you put the pedal to the metal.
I think we got a really good team.
The Mets were a great story last season.
It's gone. He did it. He did it.
You got to think the expectations are sky high. They know that they're built to win.
I love the additions.
Juan Soto to the Mets. It's real.
This is landscape changing that changes the arc of the Mets.
We want to make a dynasty.
Really like their bullpen a lot.
The ball game is over. Put it in the books.
It's going to take everything from everybody. We got to stay together and we got to post up.
Beach weekend. The first 25,000 fans on Friday, June 6th will receive a City Connect Hawaiian shirt courtesy of Jersey Mike's Subs. Visit angels.com/promotions today.
I'm already saving that one there for you, man.
Thank you. Thank you. Schmedium, please. Jorge Soler leads things off in the Angels half of the third. Soler, Trout, and Ohapi in a 6-0 Angels lead. 3 first-inning homers. First time it's ever happened by a visiting team at Fenway Park history. Jorge reached on the error on that hard hit ball to Toro at third and then scored in front of Trout's homer. You know, when you watch balls fly over the wall, over the monster onto Lansdowne Street, I am reminded of one fantastic story that's almost too good to be true. Bo Bichette of the Toronto Blue Jays hit his first home run at Fenway Park over the Green Monster onto Lansdowne Street, and it landed on a spot that used to be a gym. That was the gym that Bo's mom met his dad.
No way.
Yes.
That's pretty amazing. That's a great story there.
I mean, that kind of thing wouldn't have ever happened at the Oakland Coliseum or at Comiskey Park, right? You have to have a neighborhood back there to have that kind of story. 1-1 to Mike Trout, who would have hit the street on a 424-foot homer had it not hit the light stanchion in left center field.
So this is second career home run here at Fenway.
Take you back to the first. Oh.
That was almost like the swing he had down in Miami last year, was well over 470 feet. I mean, that thing was way out.
2 balls and 2 strikes from Hunter Dobbins. Not Mike's longest of the year, but he still owns the longest by an Angel this year.
484. He's got 454.
That's also the longest in the sport this year. How about 2 for 2?
How about 7 for 12 since coming back from the IL for Mike Trout?
Think he's feeling okay?
Yeah, I think so. That batting average starting to slowly but surely creep up. It's another fastball. That's a 97-mile-an-hour fastball. First coming back, you remember he told Erica that he said he's just getting his timing together on fastballs. Well, I think his timing's pretty good on fastballs right now.
Yeah. Box checked. Here's Logan O'Hoppe now. Logan fouled out in the first. And that one reaches the stands. O'Hoppe had a great series against the Red Sox in 2024. Went 8 for 21 in 6 games. And so much of the damage came on a grand slam he hit at Boston's expense in the first week of the season. Ball and 2 strikes.
Get away with that slider upstairs, and that's the pitch. Most of those fastballs or breaking balls upstairs against O'Hoppe have been hit well out of the ballpark.
Joe Adell waits on deck. He joined the home run party in the first. Grounded to shortstop. Story to Campbell. Relay back to Gonzalez for the double play. Through 2.5, still 6-0 Halos.
I think this is the Phillies' division to win.
Everybody knows their role within the team and are motivated collectively to go after that World Series ring.
Bryce Harper is one of the great faces of our sport.
Great ones do great things when it matters.
Trey Turner, just tools out of his mind.
Trey Turner, mammoth home run.
Zach Wheeler. But this guy has been nothing but sensational since he was signed.
This fan base loves us as a team. I love the city, man. A lot of fun to be able to go in the bank every single day.
They are a complete team. Time to win for the Phillies.
Let's talk Orioles, a powerhouse and getting better.
They have a lot of young players, and you know they're going to take another step.
High, deep, way out of here. That ball was barbecue.
Leave it up to the kid to do something special.
These guys are superstar players.
Talk about smacking the opponent in the mouth from pitch 1.
That's the day in, day out, and finding a way to win.
They've done an incredible job of bringing up this homegrown talent.
Take a bow, young man. The good vibes are back in Baltimore.
Here in the ballpark tonight, meeting some of the people, working the room as he does so well. 24 years in the big leagues, 5-time All-Star, World Series rings, Fireman of the Year awards.
Amazing thing, he threw a no-hitter also, by the way. As a starter. Incredible starter. Ended up being an unbelievable closer and a Hall of Famer.
Traded by the Cubs to the Oakland A's, and then the years as a closer began. Tyler Anderson, meanwhile, back to work with that 6-0 lead. And here in the Boston half of the third, they'll face Campbell, Duran, and Devers
Tremendous tan, too, for Eck, as always.
Tremendous.
Yes. George Hamill has nothing on him.
Chopper. Wow, took a weird bounce. Rengifo stayed with it. And
He said a
Campbell
foul
safe
ball.
anyway.
He said foul ball.
And that's a good thing.
See, the home plate umpire can make that call because until it crosses the base, it's the home plate umpire's call.
That ball took the strangest of left turns. I can't wait to see this replay again.
Yeah, because it
Right
kicked
there.
there. You can see it was foul. By the way, that was a great call. See, two baseballs that he thought were fair so far in this game for the Red Sox, it ended up being foul.
Rengifo did a nice job to stay there with it, but the call became easier because he had to move his glove outside the line to get to it. So it's 0-1 on Campbell. Check that. A ball and a strike. A ball and a strike on the Red Sox rookie.
Started off extremely hot.
Right back to Anderson.
Fielding your position.
You know, while we're talking about great Red Sox arms of the past, lost Louis Tiant in the offseason. El Tiante, Cuban-born star who took center stage in the 1975 World Series, pitched for over 20 years in the big leagues.
He was one of my favorite pitchers to watch throw that baseball, how he able to do those different kind of deliveries and stay balanced on that back leg. David Cohn used to do that quite a bit, doing different deliveries like that because he remembers watching Luis Tiant doing that. And if you can do that and stay balanced, you can throw the timing off of every hitter at the plate. And he did quite a bit.
Counts a ball and a strike to Jarren Duran and another guy, Louis Tiant, who, I mean, I can scream and yell as much as I want because I'm in a vacuum, but how is that guy not in the Hall of Fame?
Well, I'm right there screaming with you.
I mean, he was, first of all, he was an international star, helped grow the game in Cuba, pitched forever, inimitable style, pitched for good teams, pitched in World Series. Oh, that ball smoked. And off the monster. Duran into second on a ball that would have been a home run just about anywhere else in the league. Wow.
Played well by Joe Adell off that ball. I was wondering if those guys were going to get a chance. They didn't get a chance today because they had the hitter meeting to work on some fly balls off that green monster and how it's going to direct. And Joe Adell did a really, really good job. Center field, like you talked about earlier, Matty, it's a tough place to play here. Played it perfectly off the wall. Gets it in quickly. Duran is a really, really good player. He's got 14 doubles now, 6 triples to go along with 4 home runs.
So now Rafi Devers with an RBI opportunity. Line to center in his first at bat. Two balls and a strike to Devers. Second time tonight Boston's had a runner in scoring position on Anderson's watch. Devers jerks that one into the corner, foul. Such dramatic splits for the 3-time All-Star this year. Incredible road home numbers, pedestrian road numbers. Incredible numbers against breaking balls.
What, 377? Incredible.
Pedestrian against the heater. That's hit into the gap in left center field. Ward lays out and it gets past him. Back-to-back doubles in the Boston third have the Red Sox on the scoreboard. A 6-1 Angels lead.
That was a fastball there he hit. And hit it well. That's why he's so good in this ballpark. He can go inside out and use that monster if he gets there in the air. Backed up well by Joe Adell. Taylor Ward tried to dive and catch that baseball, but another extra base hit, just like that. At this ballpark, I'm telling you, that's why you got to keep adding on as an offense.
Well, yeah, it can happen in a hurry. First pitch to Rob Refsnyder's in for a strike. Refsnyder struck out in the first inning. And it's 0-2.
There was a time a lot of managers would not pitch left-handed pitchers in this yard, and they would always, you know, change around, especially because if you were playing in the Midwest or West Coast team, they would always, you know, you play the Yankees and Red Sox, and you would always want your lefties in Yankee Stadium, your right-handed pitchers in Fenway Park.
The second time Anderson has struck out Refsnyder tonight.
I think that narrative, Bruce Hurst, when he was here with the Red Sox, that changed that narrative because he was so good in this yard. That's why they had that covering in the outfield, especially on day games. He was impossible to hit because he was tall, and they added that, you know, they added the shirts in center field, made it hard to hit against him. Great change up there.
Another strikeout on a changeup. Only Tarek Skubal and Christopher Sanchez of the Phillies have racked up more on that pitch type. Quick throw down to second base where Devers is back.
Can you just put Skubal's name on everything?
He's not a human.
No.
Speaking of non-humans, the Angels are going to fade Garrett Crochet in this series. He pitched yesterday. Thank you very much.
Yes.
It's a nice name to miss. 2 balls and no strikes. The count to Carlos Narvaez. That Red Sox rotation in the mid to late 80s with Bruce Hurst and Clemens and Dennis Oil Can Boyd.
He was a character, man. He was so much fun to watch.
Well, when your nickname comes from your post-game proclivities for tipping back beers, you know that he's colorful.
Yes.
McCann was talking about a comeback in his late 40s and early 50s at one point.
Yeah, he was. Said the can.
Swing and a miss by Narvaez.
I love when he said that. The can.
Red Sox getting to Anderson for the first time on back-to-back one-out doubles.
That's a pretty good take. That was a great pitch by Anderson. Narvaez did a nice job of laying off that pitch.
Full count, 3-2.
He clearly wants to be up there in attack mode versus a fastball.
Full count pitch. Missed with the changeup. A little bit more on the guy that the Angels are going to miss in this series. Garrett Crochet is among the leading vote getters early on. I know it's really early, but when you're talking about AL Cy Young consideration, check out what he's done in his first months as a Red Sox. Third pitcher ever in franchise history with 100 Ks and a sub-2 ERA in his first 13 starts in uniform.
Look at the other two.
Yeah.
Roger Clemens, Pedro Martinez. Cy Young awards, lots of them between those two.
Barry Enright's out for a quick conversation. How about a quick word from Hyundai?
Charge up to 178 miles in just 15 minutes. How it should be.
So Anderson was able to strand runners on base in the second. He has allowed a run here in the third, but looking to strand 2 more. And it'll be Romy Gonzalez to face him. He singled in the second, and who is, again, one of the Red Sox leading weapons against left-handed pitching.
That's why those 2-out walks really kind of get you thinking. You can't give free passes in this ballpark. There's certain yards you just can't do that to.
Unfortunately, that's a category that the Angels lead the majors in. 2-out walks issued, and it's 0-1. Make it 0-2.
This feels like you got to be ready for Scott Kingery to the right side of the infield.
Laid off a changeup that time. You feel like Gonzalez probably had a sense that's what was coming.
I still wouldn't go away from that pitch either, though, man. I would go right back to it. You don't have to necessarily throw it a strike, but have it start in the strike zone first.
Got him swinging on a great changeup to retire the side in strand 2. 3 strikeouts for Tyler Anderson through 3.
Did he do it? Oh my goodness, what a play! An absolute beast unleashed. You are unbelievable.
Racking them up, all I do is win. Spot that hashtag like a boss. Yeah, that's how I roll. Keep on nailing and never miss it back. Enjoy the show.
Relive the biggest plays from every game with Abby LeVar on Quick Pitch. Late nights and early mornings on MLB Network. Step up to the plate and get ready to play ball. The baseball show for kids where you can learn about batting, fielding, and everything in between from the real pros. Every swing is a big hit on Play Ball. Saturday mornings at 10 Eastern on MLB Network.
Baseball pays tribute to Lou Gehrig, not only to forever immortalize one of the game's all-time greats who began his incredible 2,130 consecutive game streak 100 years ago today, but to generate funds and awareness for ALS research, a disease for which there's still no cure.
Yes. You just pray every day that someday soon that'll be the case where there's a cure for it.
Joe Adell leads things off in the Angels half of the 4th. Adell, Rengifo, and Kingery here at Fenway Park, a place that Lou Gehrig rather enjoyed during his time in the majors. We'll back it up. Career OPS over 1,000. That company is all black and white and all in the hall.
All with tremendous nicknames too, every one of them. Led by the splendid Splinter.
And a called strike 3 taken by Adell.
Boy, Dobbins has come in and really slowed down that high-powered halo offense after 6 runs and 3 home runs in the first inning.
He has now retired 6 of the 7 batters he's faced. 1 out, bases empty now for Rengifo. And Louis rifles the ball into the left field corner. Duran's on it quickly, and Rengifo's at first base with his 2nd hit of the trip.
Yeah, Duran made a nice play on the first at bat where Rengifo hit it hard to left field. This time far enough away he's not able to run it down. Little spinning break a ball there, shoots it to left field.
Rengifo seems to have enjoyed his at-bats against breaking balls much more than heaters this year, which is such a departure from the hitter he's been the last few years. Here's Kingery now.
Well, there was a time when this would be a situation where you might put a hit and run on there with Rengifo when he's running well, and Kingery, who handles the bat well, you would have a hit and run going here.
Louis just 1 for 4 in stolen bases this year. Kingery with a smash to third. Great play by Toro to Campbell for 1. Not in time for the double play.
Boy,
wow.
He hit that ball hard. Toro made a great play on that one. Well, that is the hot corner. That ball was right on the barrel of the bat. Toro, real good play, good hands on that one.
So we're under at first with 2 gone. It's Kingery aboard, and it'll go back to Zach Neto, who has homered and flied to right tonight. Five leadoff homers, climbing the list. Man, that is really within reach.
Superman at top.
2 away from tying Brian Downing atop the list. Counts 2 balls and a strike on Neto. There will be no mistaking Zach Neto for Brian Downing physically.
Not quite.
Downing was absolutely yoked.
Well before anybody else. It was like him and Lance Parrish were the 2 guys that were gigantic.
Yeah.
First.
Do you think Brian
Besides
Downing,
Frank Howard, that was just a different human being.
Yeah. Do you think he still shortens up the sleeves?
Yeah,
just walks around town.
I would hope
as an
he
older
does.
Dude,
I would hope he does.
ripped. 2-1. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Zach.
Remember, he came up as a catcher too.
Right.
Made a really solid left field. That play with him and Fred Lynn at the Big A, that fly ball when they smashed into each other against the wall. One of the all-time great catches in Halo history.
Got him swinging. Yeah, Hunter Dobbins has kind of restored normalcy for the Red Sox. Still 6-1 Angels.
I'm Jesse's uncertainty, and I really thought house projects were my time to shine. One little, are you sure? He gets stuck before he even got started. But Jesse's changed because of Thumbtack. With their guides, he knows exactly what to do and who to hire, and his house is looking great. Where does that leave me?
Uncertainty doesn't live here. You do. Take care of your home with Thumbtack. Download the app today.
The alpha dog among big league closers right here. Top of the food chain, Manuel Clase.
Jose Ramirez, one of the most unsung great players in the game of baseball.
Goodbye. That's why he needs his gamer. Swing! Cutter at 100 miles per hour coming at you. Home run, Jose Ramirez.
Best power, speed, and run production is Jose Ramirez, and Jose Ramirez. He's a complete player.
Bogey! Swing and a miss. Bucket. You get into the 9th inning, done deal.
Far, let's take a look at our T-Mobile coverage cam. Change-up, 3 punch-outs with his change-up tonight against the Red Sox lineup. 8 swinging misses. The cameo, the change-up working for Tyler Anderson.
He's back to work in the bottom of the 4th for Abraham Toro, Trevor Story, and Cedane Rafaela. 6-1 Angels. The damage coming in the top of the 1st. All 6 Halo runs on 3 homers. 0-1 the count, and make it 0-2 to Abraham Toro.
Well, if you're going to get that call in the changeup, when it's about half a baseball at the corner, you almost feel you have to try another changeup, go a little bit further off the plate.
Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Let's go to our Allstate Good Hands replay and replay a classic. You talked about this, Scooby, the great catch in center field. Lynn, Downing, collision. No problem.
I talked to Fred Lynn about this one a lot. He says, I don't know how I was able to catch and stay connected with my body after running into him and the wall and caught that baseball.
I'll tell you, I think when Freddie came to the Angels, he appreciated that outfield wall compared to what he had to deal with here in Boston.
Yeah, that might be slightly different.
I mean, there were a few plays, and you know, the film of it still exists, of Freddie Lynn crashing into the monster, crashing into the triangle wall. No give out there.
No. I still remember even our good buddy Torrey Hunter going over the wall in the bullpens against Big Papi when he was a member of the Detroit Tigers. Torrey Hunter. Yeah, there's no forgiving any part of this ballpark.
Ground ball for Neto. Good play in the hole. Strong throw. They don't get him. Shawnuwell came off the bag, according to the first base umpire. What a shame. Ball was there in time.
Shawnuwell thinks he kept his foot on the base.
Yeah,
I wonder if they're going to check it.
He's saying take another look. He noted it into the dugout immediately.
And I think they're going to check it.
Oh, he's out.
He's out.
What are we talking about here? He's really out.
He kept his foot there the whole time.
We'll give you every look that we have access to. I can't see his foot come off. Can you?
No.
Los Angeles is challenging the safe call at first base.
You know, it might have fooled the first base umpire is that Nolan kind of brushed his foot against the bag after he made the catch. And maybe the first base umpire misread that as Nolan trying to go back to the bag.
Yeah, sometimes that's one of those deals. It is a good angle right now.
This will give it to us.
Well, maybe not see it there.
He's out.
Yeah, it looked like he's out for sure. But also might be one of those things that don't have enough of an angle or view to say call stands because he called him safe on the field. But every angle we've seen so far.
Right. First base umpire is the crew chief, Chris Cuccione. We can't see his face there. We can't see his eyes. We'll assume that he's looking at the bag. Honestly, I think he got fooled when Nolan went back to the first base bag. What are those dudes saying right now? The umpires are saying, challenge. I got it right.
Yeah.
I got it right. How dare you? What was that you said in Cleveland? The longer it takes, usually the worse news it is.
Yeah, it's going to be a call stands in the end just because
you can't get a really clear view of his foot.
There's
the ball's there. He's out.
He's out right there. He looks out. I mean, and now as he's catching it and scooping it up, right there, the ball's in his glove. The foot is on the bag. He is out.
That's the look.
He's
That's
out.
the perfect look.
He's out.
That's the look.
But when he's bringing up the glove to show the ball's in the glove, that's when his foot disconnects from the base. That's an out. But again, we always hear the call stands.
You want me to do my Adrian Gonzalez impression?
After review, the call is overturned.
Yay!
The runner's out. Los Angeles will retain their challenge.
Look at Nolan. Very satisfied look on his face.
Goes, I knew what my foot was there. I did a nice job scooping that ball.
Told you guys.
Yes. I think that last angle we saw was the ones they saw in New York, because that clearly showed that his foot was on the bag when the ball was in the glove.
Two gone bases empty for Ceddanne Rafaela. And Anderson trying for his first 1-2-3 innings since the bottom of the first. Here we go. Boy, this dude, I mean, he does not meet a pitch he doesn't like to offer at.
No.
Holy cow. He has, however, put together a modest 5-game hitting streak. 0-2.
14 extra base hits this season. A lot of speed.
And 14 3-pitch strikeouts.
He's got a chance of one of them right now. If he throws that changeup, or it looks like he's going to go up with a fastball. It didn't quite get inside. Out over the plate, you can punch that ball the other way. That was a 90-mile-an-hour fastball for Tyler Anderson.
There are dudes in this league who you just know they're going to swing. 0-2 to Rafaela. That turns into an easy take on a 59-foot changeup. Red Sox got their run on back-to-back doubles in the third off the bats of Jarren Duran and Rafi Devers. 1-2. Oh, Neto, go up the ladder a couple of rungs.
That's some hops from Neto.
Just snatched it right back.
He's saying how high he jumped. Yes, he did.
What kind of day is he having tonight?
Oh, yes.
Right this second, at some girls' night somewhere, someone really wants a soda. But that same someone wants a better-for-you drink. You know, that doesn't taste so basic. What if there were a better soda?
Hi, I'm Allison, but they call me Mommy Poppy.
Okay, wait.
You deserve better. Drink a Poppy. No fakeness here.
Pizza?
Okay, major green flag. A soda with 5 grams of sugar? That's the real plot twist.
I always forget the pizza when they get the Poppy on top.
Want the effects of Viagra, but faster? Meet Rose Sparks. They contain sildenafil and tadalafil, the active ingredients of Viagra and Cialis. But Sparks dissolve under the tongue. Dissolvables work faster than old-school pills. Plus, tadalafil, the active ingredient in Cialis, stays in your system for long-lasting results. Faster acting and long-lasting? We got you. See if Sparks are right for you at ro.co/sparks.
Watch that on the iPad again because it looks awesome. Dig yourself.
You got to ask now if he can dunk a basketball.
Uh-huh.
I'm sure he'll say he can, that's for sure.
Shawnuel, Ward, and Soler here in the Angels' 5th. Somebody gets on. Mike Trout has a chance here against Hunter Dobbins.
By the way, what a road trip already for Trout.
Yeah.
With 7 hits. Now he's tied with Tim Salmon all time as far as hits as a Halo.
Let's go back to the catch by Neto to end the inning. Yeah. I wish it was a little bit taller. I wish it was a baller. Uh-huh. Then you watch it on the iPad. He's homered tonight.
He likes this ballpark. Made his debut in this yard. How about that? You come up from the minor leagues like right away out of college basically, and you play your first series here in Fenway, then you go to New York. Just have some fun. Yeah. No problem.
You're
no
in the
stress.
big leagues.
No stress at all. Another full count for Nolan Shawnuel.
He is
unreal.
Full count. Averaging over 4 pitches per plate appearance, which might not sound like a lot, but that ranks among leaders in the American League.
It's the count of Montefusco.
Got a little jam shot there. All 6 runs for the Angels in the first on 3 homers. The big blast Trout's 3-run shot. Next full count pitch to Shawnuel, fouled away again. Had an 8-pitch plate appearance in the first, led to a walk.
I think he did that every at bat in Cleveland.
It did feel like that. He walked 3 times.
By the way, how much fun is this ballpark here? This is the best.
Well, it's fun when your team hits 3 homers in the first, that's for sure. And there's ball 4. Another long plate appearance and another walk. Hey, fans, get 2 tickets and $20 in food and beverage credit with the Let's Eat bundle. Visit angels.com/Let's Eat to pick your game and get 2 tickets plus $20 for food. Purchase your bundle at angels.com/Let's Eat.
Yes. I'll tell you what, there's a lot of Angel fans here at the ballpark today. We saw a ton down there on the field, especially by the Angels dugout.
0-1 the count to Taylor Ward. There was a guy wearing an Angels shirt and cap up top the monster going nuts when Adele hit the home run onto the street. Broken shillelagh. Taylor gets another bat. There he is. He's got full coach's gear on.
Yes.
Looks a little bit like Dino Ebel.
He took time off from the Dodgers third base coaching box and come out the Green Monster.
Yeah, right. 0-1 the count to Ward. Shawnuel off first to lead off the inning. Taylor fades that one to second. Campbell back into first, not in time to double off Nolan. So 1 out, 1 on here in the 5th. Jorge Soler has reached on an error, scored and struck out tonight.
You know, he got him on a break ball last time. I wonder if he'll be ready to jump on a break ball first pitch.
You know, in stark contrast to Neto, whose slug comes early in the games, Soler has done his heaviest lifting later in ball games. 4 of his 8 homers have come after the 5th. A ball and a strike to count to Jorge. As a Royal back in 2019, he had a 2-homer game, but has not homered here in 12 games since 2021. Ball and 2 strikes.
That was a nasty slider there. Got him an expand and chase. The first slider he threw was a get over first pitch strike. It was in his zone.
Looks like Narvaez wants it out there again. Left that one in the strike zone. Good play by Toro, however. Throw into second base is in time to force the runner. Well, we talked about this at the beginning of the night. Mike Trout was 2 away from tying Tim Salmon for second place on the all-time franchise hit list. He has gotten there with 2 knocks tonight. GA's next up. It's going to take a lot of knocks to get to that number. Here we go with Trout's 3rd plate appearance of the night.
Seven hits since returning from the IL for Trout. 7. 7 for 12.
Oh, give me another one. That's off the monster. About a 3 for 3 night in Boston for Mike Trout.
Now passes by Tim Salmon. It was 110 off the bat. Oh my, I say he's kind of locked in. Might be a spot on that wall there.
Dislodged a plank. 110 miles an hour. 2 singles and a homer for Trout. First and second now for Logan O'Hoppe. That's out to right field to retire the side. Some loud contact, but nothing in the Angels' 5th.
We got our hands up in the air, 'cause it's a party. We having fun here, 'cause it's a party. Oh my, this guy is next level. Oh my goodness.
Lots of great baseball coming, and good guess, by the way.
Play baseball like I'm still a young kid, like a little teenager.
Good luck trying to hit that, man. It's unhittable.
What a moment. This is the show that never ends.
This is Fubo. It's a better way to watch ESPN and other top sports networks. Plus, get coverage of your local teams all year long. Start watching at FuboTV.com.
Ooh, that's a lovely view.
What are you two looking at?
Tit pick.
What did you say?
Tit pick.
tickets to the show with no hidden fees.
Big A this Sunday, June 8th against the Mariners, a 1 p.m. start. The first 15,000 kids, 3 to 17, will take home a Logan O'Hoppe youth jersey, courtesy of angels.ocnavigator.org. Visit angels.com/promotions for details. Seattle with a first-place lead in the AL West. Half game up on Houston. They're idle tonight, starting a series with Baltimore tomorrow at home.
Seattle comes into town to the Big A this weekend.
Always a interesting, if not contentious, series.
Yes.
With the Seattle Mariners. Tyler Anderson back to work with a 5-run lead. 6-1 Angels, back with Mark Gubazon, Erica West, and Matt Vasgersian. And Christian Campbell leads things off in the Boston 5th, followed by the top of the order, Duran and Devers.
Cal Raleigh, what he's done this year for the Seattle Mariners, leading baseball in home runs.
He's turned into the guy. You mentioned Christian Campbell starting out hot, and he did. He came plummeting back down to earth with a really rough month of May, but the Red Sox certainly haven't lost any faith. 22-year-old rookie. 4th overall pick in 2023, and he was their opening day second baseman this year.
Ooh, that was a pretty good pitch. That cutter.
It's got a weird swing. And we were visiting with some Red Sox people before the game. It looks weird when it works, and it looks really weird when it doesn't. Caught looking.
Perfect spot. Kind of like Hunter Pence-like.
That's a good comp. Yeah, that's a good comp. You can't imitate it, but it works for him type thing. 5 strikeouts for Tyler Anderson tonight. Top of the order, Jarren Duran doubled and scored the Red Sox only run in the 3rd. This is the part of the order you got to worry about when Duran and Devers hit. 0-1 the count to the 2024 All-Star.
Both hit the ball extremely well the other way.
You know, Jarren Duran had the kind of year last year that somehow kind of slipped through the cracks for some. Historically good. He had 735 plate appearances last year. And in doing so, became the first player to lead the league in doubles and triples since Lou Brock in 1968.
That's pretty amazing when you think about it, since '68. Orange County kid.
2-2. Has a kind of an unusual batting style as well. There are other players that do this. We just saw one of them in Nolan Jones of the Guardians. He locks pinkies at the bottom of the bat. Well hit into left center field. Adell's going to have to play this one off the wall. He does so perfectly. Into second base is Duran with his second double of the game.
And the second baseball off the wall that Joe Adell has played very well. And both by Duran. That's not a bad pitch either. Was a cutter down. He just went with it. Mentioned he hits the ball so well that way. Now with 15 doubles, 6 triples.
Let me ask you this. As Logan O'Hoppe goes out, Rafael Devers is the guy you worry about the most in this lineup. First base is open. You're up by 5. The guy up next, Rob Refsnyder, has struck out twice. Is there a discussion about maybe walking Devers?
I don't think you do. Just because of the score right now. And then free passes in this ballpark, you're opening up yourself a potential big inning. As much as you want to try to pitch around them, I still think you have to go after him here with a 6-1 lead.
Makes sense. We talked about this with Erica in Angels Live a couple of years ago. Garrett Cole intentionally walking Devers, and the plan notably blew up in his face. And when something like that happens in a Red Sox-Yankees game, the whole world takes notice. Recalling how it happened, Cole kind of dismissively gave him 4 fingers and then waved his hand.
Yes.
And boy, was he criticized roundly for that. Anderson is in fact going after him here. A ball and a strike to Devers. Owns the American League RBI lead by himself now with his 53rd tonight.
That's a pretty good pitch. A little bit below the strike zone though. Just the way he stands in his approach at the plate. He's got that back foot on the line, but then his front foot's almost on the other line in the batter's box. And he closes it up as the pitch is being thrown. And that's why he's so good hitting the ball the other way.
It's like a modified, remember Tony Bautista? Yes. The Orioles, a dude that was wide open. Looked like he was playing another sport.
Look at that. And yet hands are so quick. His hands are up so high too.
3-1. And there's ball 4. That is the first walk of the ball game issued by Tyler Anderson.
Now, it wasn't an intentional walk, but he was going to try to get him to chase something out of the zone, and Devers did not help him out at all.
Yeah, I think that was the nature of the conversation with O'Hoppe. Here's Refsnyder now. Again, he struck out twice swinging tonight.
Again, still waiting for the first ground ball double play. Turned behind him. Almost had one earlier tonight.
Ball to no strikes to Refsnyder. Two balls and no strikes. By the way, Tyler Anderson had made only 2 starts here in this ballpark before tonight, and neither one of them really went his way. 8 1/3 total here. 9 earned runs allowed. Yeah, there's a strike to make it 2-1. So tonight already in the process of his best ever start in this ballpark.
That pitch count now of this next pitch will be the 89th pitch. That's a much better changeup. The one before, he knew he had to throw for a strike. It was up middle, and that changeup was perfect.
He's got more swings and misses on his changeup tonight than in any start this season, 12 of them.
Could use one of those now.
2-2 to Rob Refsnyder. In the dirt, on his way to third is Duran. He's just too fast. Anything that gets away at the home plate area, and Duran is on the move.
Long look in there for Rengifo. He thought he might have gotten him. I think they did though. Looked like he got his hand in there. They're looking. Nice job by O'Hoppe. A lot on that throw. Thought he got that hand in. The back part of the base.
Yeah, no challenge issued by the Angels. Very close though.
He kept that tag all the way through. Just great base running. Tremendous secondary lead too, and went as soon as that ball hit the dirt. O'Hoppe did a great job of getting that quickly, make a quick throw.
Still looking for that 1-out ground ball here with runners at the corners, and Refsnyder fouls it away.
But by Devers not going, you still have that double play in order. But I think that it's a more difficult one. As a trail runner, you got to make sure he's going. And the way that ball was deflected away from the dirt on O'Hoppe, he might have had a clearer look to second base on that one.
Hunter Strickland is up in the Angels bullpen, and that one's out to left field. Ward will play this one off the wall. A run comes in from third, and Boston has chipped away for another. It's a 6-2 ball game.
It's why those free passes, even though it's Devers and how good he's swinging the bat, it's those extra base runners. This time the changeup, not a bad spot. But he was on that one. Refsnyder had some pretty good numbers against Tyler Anderson coming into this game, and he had punched him out twice. That was 4th hit and 8 at-bats against Tyler Anderson for Refsnyder.
Still one away, first and second with a run in now for Carlos Narvaez, who lines that one inside the line. A fair ball down the left field corner. Devers is going to score. An RBI double on the very next pitch. And suddenly it's a not so comfortable 3-run lead.
This might get a visit now for Barry Enright. Well, actually, it might be from, looks like Ron Washington's coming out.
Yeah, that's the very slow wash orthopedic shoes walk, because he's trying to give Hunter Strickland another extra pitches in the bullpen. He just recently got up. I think Wash has his mind made up.
This is Fubo. It's a better way to watch ESPN and other top sports networks. Plus, get coverage of your local teams all year long. Start watching at FuboTV.com.
Introducing baseball's all-new national pregame show, MLB Tonight, live at 5. Join Greg, Harold, and Dan, and a star-studded roster for a preview of all the night's matchups. Get a first look at the lineups.
Everything looks good right now for the Yankees.
First take from the players.
I'm just excited to put any pair of cleats on.
And the first of many breakdowns every game night. A full night of baseball starts at 5. MLB Tonight's national pregame show, live at 5 Eastern on MLB Network.
FanDuel Sports Network is brought to you by UCI Health. Compassionate expert care for everyone in the region. Learn more at ucihealth.org. By Pechanga Resort Casino. Play your perfect combination at Pechanga, conveniently located off 515 in Temecula. And by Jack in the Box. Get so much more in the new T-Pain Munchie Meal. Boston by night. Things electrified in the ballpark. Last 3 pitches did not have good results for Tyler Anderson.
Yeah, a little bit more of the plate than he wanted to, what he was doing the first 4 innings of this game. And that one right there in particular, that cutter. A couple hits on his cutter, one on his changeup.
With 1 away runners at first and second, Romy Gonzalez is the hitter. Hunter Strickland takes over on the mound for the Halos.
It's been great so far. Task here now with second and third. Just 1 out. Halos are willing to give up that 1 run there to get an out.
2 balls and no strikes.
What, Narvaez really hits the ball well. That was a rocket right down in the corner for that double.
This might come as a surprise to some, but the Angels bullpen, in losing 7 of their last 8, has actually held up better than it did during the 8-game winning streak. Some things you just can't really explain.
No, you really can't. But the offense during that 8-game winning streak, they were scoring about 7 runs a game.
Right.
So that helped out a lot. A lot of home runs. It's like today so far with 3 in the first inning.
Boston's chipped away for 3 of their own. 3 runs, that is. Tying run at the plate with only 1 away. Gonzalez shoots that up the line, a fair ball. That's going to score both. Gonzalez to second. It's a 1-run game.
Seen too many of these type of games in this ballpark over the years. Went with a heater, then hit it right down the first base line. Just shorted on a swing. Didn't try to pull it, stayed on it, and right down the line, just like that, a 1-run game in his yard.
Still only 1 away now for Abraham Toro, the switch hitter in from the left side for the first time tonight. The Boston lineup that averages almost 5 runs per game, good for 7th best in Major League Baseball, and they have come to life here in the 5th. 1-1 to Toro. And unfortunately for Tyler Anderson, all those runs are on his line tonight. Up the middle. Neto has it.
It's a weird run to that baseball up the middle, too.
Runner at third with 2 gone now. And as they say, you can close the book on Anderson's line. 5 earned in 4 1/3. Pitched a lot better than that. That is a rough break, man.
Yeah, just a couple cutters in that changeup in that inning. Had him chasing his changeup a lot.
Trevor Story now takes a strike. Story reached on a fielder's choice and grounded out against Anderson in 2 tries. 0-2. Trevor Story's played in now 58 games this year. Almost as many as he's played in over the last 2 seasons combined. In fact, since joining the Red Sox for the 2023 season, he's played in only 40% of their games. He's had a really hard time staying healthy, a variety of injuries. When healthy, we remember his Denver days. One of the most productive shortstops in the sport.
Yeah, an all-around incredible player.
There was a 5-year period where he was the only National League shortstop with over 105 homers, 300 runs batted in.
Great base runner, great glove, a lot of power.
Strickland in front of him, 0-2, trying to strand a runner and get the Angels out of a troubling 5th inning. Story is the 8th Boston batter to come to the plate in the inning. The 1-2 got him swinging.
Nasty break a ball there, sweeper from Strickland.
1-run ball game.
Yordan Alvarez is just becoming this consistent hitting machine.
The big man who wears 44 is 4 for 4.
Face of the franchise, everything that is Houston now.
He's top 5 in every category for the Houston Astros historically.
Always just assume they're going to play in the ALCS.
There's no effort. Boom.
And you can kiss that goodbye. That's a game winner.
Late inning heroics once again. He's a legend.
Unbelievable.
Hey, Chicago, what do you say? Cubs are going to win today.
This is their chance to have another run. This is their time.
This is the Cubs division to lose this year.
They need to be singing the song quite a bit this year.
That's hammered. Kyle Tucker, welcome to the Cubs. Gone! stands, but he swats it.
He's one of the most talented ball players.
Pete Crow Armstrong, what a stud.
Showed at Imanaga, it's about falling in love with him.
Seiya Suzuki for the grand slam.
And this is when you put the pedal to the metal.
I think we got a really good team.
Bunches, 6 in the Angels first on 3 homers. First time a visitor has ever homered 3 times in the top of the first inning in Fenway Park history. But before we got to celebrating, 4 in the 5th have tightened things up to a 1-run game. Adele, Rengifo, and Kingery against Hunter
That'll
Dobbins.
help.
How about 2 tonight for Joe?
Wow.
Right into the national car rental banner. First pitch dinger for Adele. His 3rd of the trip.
Adele says hello again. Now he has 9 home runs. Hit homer on a fastball, homers on a slider.
And the first extra base hit against Hunter Dobbins since he came in the game and calmed things down in the second.
4 home runs in the game for Halos, giving him now 87 on the season.
Way. Count jumpers on 0-0 counts. Let's hit the folks with that again. Here's Luis Rengifo, a 723 slug on 0-0.
103.6 exit velocity on that home run for Adele. Again, it was like one of those get over breakables. I guess the Halos, you don't want to throw those get over breakables because they're get up and go breakables.
Pow. I think there's a marketing campaign there. The count jumpers. High infield pop. Narvaez has got it. Rengifo's retired 1 away. And had it not been for that advertising, that one's on to Lansdowne Street.
I'd say he's hitting the ball well. Remember, he had 20 home runs last season before missing some time with that injury. Looked like he was on pace to be a 2020 guy. He had 15 stolen bases.
Scott Kingery now 0 for 2 tonight. Do you have the sense that this game is not going to end 7-5? This is
just keep scoring.
One of those Wild West shootouts. Kingery sends a high fly ball into foul territory from Romy Gonzalez. Hey!
It's an all-around good play.
So with Zach Neto due up, a run in and 2 away, he's the subject of our Kia player profile. As goes Zach Neto, so go the Halos. In wins, big numbers. When the Angels lose, you can see for yourself.
Yes. So important to every aspect of this club. Stealing the bases, driving in runs, hitting home runs, and playing some great defense.
Reed Detmer's up in the Angels bullpen. Like the idea of Reed coming in and settling things down, maybe giving you some bulk innings, maybe even taking it the rest of the way.
Real good numbers in his career versus the Red Sox, too.
Neto one hops it to short for Story. Nothing further, but Joe Adell's second homer of the night has redistanced the Halos. A 2-run lead as we go to the bottom of the 6th.
Step up to the plate and get ready to play ball. The baseball show for kids where you can learn about batting, fielding, fielding, and everything in between from the real pros. Every swing is a big hit on Play Ball. Saturday mornings at 10 Eastern on MLB Network.
We got our hands up in the air, 'cause it's a party. We having fun here, 'cause it's a party. Oh my! This guy is next level. Oh my goodness!
Lots of great baseball coming, and good guess, by the way.
Play baseball like I'm still a young kid, like a little teenager.
Good luck trying to hit that, man. It's unhittable.
What a moment! This is the show that never ends.
What's been a fun night at Fenway with our Arco top-tier plays. Top of the first, Zach Neto leads off with a homer, and the Angels weren't done. Mike Trout hit a 424-foot blast with 2 men on. And then Joe Adell with his first of 2 homers tonight.
And that leaves the ballpark completely.
A record-setting top of the first for the Angels. The first time a visiting team has homered 3 times in the top of the first in Fenway Park history. And Reed Detmers is on from the bullpen for the Angels.
You mentioned pretty good numbers in his career against the Red Sox, covering 27 2/3 innings pitched. Solid ERA under 2.
Reed working on a nice stretch of scoreless outings, 5 of them, most recently on Saturday in Cleveland. A scoreless ending with a couple of strikeouts. He'll get Rafaela, Campbell, and Duran here in the 6th.
That's the thing, the difference maker. He's been 96-97 with his 4-seamer.
One-two to Rafaela is in the air, slicing, and out of play. You might ask, for a guy that doesn't hit much, how is he in there every night? He is an elite center fielder. Last month in Detroit, watch what happens here. Homer, Romy Gonzalez knocks it down, and Sedane just says, I got you.
That is unreal.
Harlem Globetrotters stuff out there.
I mentioned 10 defensive runs saved for him in center field. That is unreal for this time of the year. Also has 4 outfield assists.
This was a guy that played a lot of shortstop last year, too.
It's amazing how many times we're saying that now. Really good shortstops playing an elite defense as center fielders. Kyron Paris did the same thing when he was up with the Halos. He was playing really solid in center. A lot of the guys making that transition.
And it's really rare when it happens in the same season. In fact, for Rafaela, he's the only player since 1900 to play at least 60 games in center and 60 games at shortstop in the same season. That's going to be a tough play. Oh, Hoppy, not in time. The Angels played that about as well as they could have, but Rafaela can fly.
And you can't bunt a baseball any better than that. A perfect pitch, too. Really good curveball. And it wasn't even close.
Oh, Hoppy got on that quickly, threw a missile to first, and they still couldn't get him. Man.
.30 feet per second, elite speed going down the line, and you're somewhat off balance on that swing too.
Ball and no strikes to the rookie Christian Campbell, who's 0 for 2 tonight.
'96 again from Reed Detmers.
Unlike Raffaello, who hits in front of him, Campbell is an extremely patient hitter. There's only one rookie in the game who's collected more walks. That's Jason Dominguez of the Yankees. A ball and 2 strikes. Here's some of the numbers we talked about. How his struggles after the hot month of April set in. A 361 OPS since May 1st. Wow. Two and 2. Troubling part of the order due up for Boston, and that's Duran and Devers.
That's why you like a ground ball, maybe a Zach Neto right here to get a double play out of it. Campbell can run well, but batting from the right side, you have a better shot of turning a double play here.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Chopper to second base. Kingery, shortstop, covering for 1. They do get the out there because Zach Neto did a great job keeping his foot on the bag.
Imagine they're going to look at it. Zach Neto playing as if he's a first baseman there. Doesn't look like they're going to challenge that. At some point, he's got to get off the field, though.
Come on back.
Yes.
They're not taking another look, young man. So it's Campbell at first base instead of Raffaella, and with 1 away, that'll bring back the top of the order and Jarren Duran.
What that was pretty close, though. Kind of glad they didn't challenge that one.
Duran was a real problem for Tyler Anderson tonight. 2 doubles, 2 runs scored. He had been 0 for his last 16. In fact, 0 for 17 if you count his first inning flyout.
He's staying on the ball now and hit the ball twice off the green monster left center field. It's not a comfortable feeling when you're on the mound against. That means he's staying and letting the baseball travel. That was a strike. It just kind of got away.
2-0. Perfect strike. 2 balls and a strike from Detmers. Tyler Anderson started tonight. He went 4 1/3. Hunter Strickland finished the 5th. And now Detmers here in the 6th. Into right, that's going to get down. 3rd straight hit for Duran tonight. Tying runs are on base with 1 away.
And the guy you don't want up with the tying runs on base.
Well, here are some reasons why you don't want him coming up. Since 2019, his rookie season, a lot of productivity. Conversation with Barry Enright. How about a quick word from Jack in the Box?
We killed it with your new Munchie Meal, T-Pain.
Pretty much, Jack.
Welcome to Jack in the Box.
Well, Devers has now had 3 straight plate appearances with a man in scoring position.
He has rolled into 4 double plays, though.
Appreciate the effort there.
Yes.
Looking for something.
Yes.
Some silver lining. Rob Refsnyder would be next. Angels would sell out for a ground ball here. First pitch to Devers. We can talk about regular season numbers all we want, but how about once the calendar flips to the fall? First 25 postseason games, only Lou Gehrig with more runs batted in. Appropriate on this Lou Gehrig day. Popped him up.
That's a good pitch. Stayed inside on him, tied him up. That was the conversation when Barry Enright came out to Reed Detmers with his fastball. Stay inside. Don't let him get his arms extended. Remember, we talked about that today. When you always think stay away in this ballpark, but you got to stay inside because he's clearly trying to hit the ball the other way. Got inside with 96. Tied him up. Gets a pop-up.
A big out, but Reed not out of the woods yet. Still runners at first and second with 2 away now for Rob Refsnyder, who singled in a run back in the 5th. He's also struck out twice tonight.
Yeah, especially first pitch. Be careful.
That first pitch heat, or slider rather, in for a strike.
Because that's where you really have to have your concentration level go to that next level. When you face a guy like Rafael Devers and you get him out, there's no letdown. You got to go out and be in attack mode.
As we mentioned earlier, Refsnyder has been hot. Homers in 4 of his last 9 starts. Campbell and Duran aboard with 2 away. Foul ball. I don't care how hard you hit it.
It's just a strike.
This dude saw his life flash in front of his eyes. He took a hop off the wall and almost got him.
You can smile now.
1-2 pitch. Appeal down to first. No swing, says first base umpire and crew chief Chris Cuccione.
Well, I thought he did. I'm not so sure he did, but here at better angle. He definitely did. Missed 2 of them so far at first base.
Full count now. So with 2 away, runners will be in motion. Rookie catcher waits next.
Yeah, with that speed they have on the bases, kind of hoping to be able to finish them off on that 2-2 pitch.
Campbell and Duran take off. 3-2 pitch home. Another check swing in which he doesn't go around. I mean, how many strikes does Reed have to throw?
That's
I
right
think that ball was in the zone.
It was in the strike zone. That was in the strike zone. Perfect pitch.
Come on, that's brutal.
And missed again.
That's terrible. Terrible.
He definitely held up, but it was a strike.
Bases are loaded. Oh, and 1 to Carlos Narvaez, who tonight has walked and doubled in a run. So good on Reed Detmers just to get right back to work. He knows he threw a strike there. He didn't have any histrionics, no pouting. He's not that kind of guy to begin with. 0-2.
Well, he's going right at him. It was 97.
He's chapped. Reed having to work hard to preserve the 2-run lead. 0-2 the count to Carlos Narvaez. Bouncing ball for Neto.
What a play.
In and out of trouble in the 6th.
Great job by Reed Detmers there.
Should have used tick pick.
Wait, what'd you say?
Tick pick. Look.
Oh, whoa, whoa, dude.
What? There are no hidden fees. What'd you guys think I said?
Oh, tick pick. I thought you said.
Since the dawn of baseball, every player has honed their unique skills. from this era will prove worthy of legend. The world watches as the journey unfolds.
Man, these seats. Right? I wonder how the other guys are doing.
I spent hours finding a deal on these.
Trash. You should have used Game Time. The easiest way to find only the best deals for the best seats with their Game Time picks. What time is it? Game Time.
Pitch isn't called properly, a manager getting a little upset. And that was the case with Ron Washington, who came out and had already been thrown out when he came out of the dugout.
It's the end of the inning. First of all, the check swing was a swing, not called by Gioni over first base. And then that perfect pitch there in the strike zone called a ball. You know what? I like what Wash did there. You got to go out and protect your guys there.
For sure. He'll gladly fall on it there. This is the home plate umpire, Chad Whitson. I don't know what he finds so funny.
Yeah, did he threw him out?
You boxed a call, bruh. Nick Berti is the new pitcher on the mound for Boston. And I would imagine Ray Montgomery would have the lineup card, the bench coach.
Yes.
Wash ain't going anywhere, by the way. Could it be that somebody else got thrown out? Because there was definitely the gesture. It's not Ron Washington. We're getting clarification that maybe it was Reed Detmers that was tossed from the game.
That'd be unusual. I don't see anybody down in the well, there is a bullpen action going. Reed Detmers is as quiet as could be. We always joke around and we call him Dexter. Might have went Dexter on the way off the mound.
The strike to Nolan Shonowell. Full count again to count full count.
Yes, he is. The count of Montefusco.
Right-hander Nick Berti, by the way, was recalled from AAA Worcester on Friday. They used him a couple of times over a 3-game series in Atlanta this past weekend. And Shonowell bounces a roller out. His opposite number, and the throw to first base is bad, and Berti's dinged up.
It looked like he might have cleated him in almost the Achilles area.
I don't know if Romy Gonzalez's throw was bad or if Berti wasn't in the right spot. Let's take a look.
It was a high throw.
Oh, yeah.
He did a nice job of getting to that baseball, but the high throw.
It's got to be an E3.
Yes.
And then Berti favoring that ankle.
Yeah, it looked like he turned a little bit on the base, but also it looked like Shonowell stepped on him. He's trying to gut it out right now, but you can tell he doesn't feel real good.
Now Berti pitching in just his 4th game in a Boston uniform. He had gotten an appearance earlier before being sent down to AAA. Guy who's been around in the big leagues a while. He's going to give that ankle a go.
He's saying he's fine. These are the, when we talk about how well halos do damage on first pitch. It's the time when you right away thinking, swinging at the first pitch. Before he gets comfortable again back on the mound. He can throw the fastball 96, 99 and a slider.
Taylor Ward has a single in 3 at-bats tonight. And takes a strike. All 7 Angels runs tonight on homers, adding to their league-leading percentage of runs scored via the home run. 0-2. O2 pitch from Birdie to Ward is fouled away. We're still trying to figure out who got run from the game, and maybe it's Barry Enright. Saw Barry yelling a little bit there. We don't see Reed on the bench. Ball and 2 strikes. Wouldn't it be nice to get some clarification on that?
Yes.
Honestly.
And they make all those announcements anyhow, but I don't see
they're supposed
Barry
to.
Enright in the dugout though. He's sticking up for his pitches because he struck out 2 guys. He had 2 strikeouts there on a check swing and a pitch in the strike zone.
2 balls and 2 strikes. What's that cost a guy now? What's the fine?
I don't know what that is right now. I only had one time I was thrown out, but I didn't even do anything that day. I got thrown out just because somebody impersonated me with my voice saying you're a bad umpire. I got thrown out. That was fun.
That happened to Aaron Boone a couple of years ago. It was a fan. 2-2. So from 0-2 to a full count now on Taylor. What? Oh, I'm done trying to figure this out. Let's take a look again.
Yeah, you know what? I thought he went on this one too, but there's been 2 other calls that haven't gone that way. He definitely, it was about the same as we saw a couple Boston Red Sox check swings to first base with Chris Guccione, not calling it.
Here's Jorge Soler now. 1 out, 1 on. We're going to put figuring out what is and isn't a check swing on the same list as figuring out the officiating in the NBA. Very difficult to define.
Yes.
Soler has been on base twice tonight, but without the benefit of a base hit. He's reached on a fielder's choice in an error, and now he's in front 2-0.
I used to quantify it as a intent to swing. That's what they used to say that on a check swing. And when we used to have the National League umpires and then the American League umpires, National League, if you even thought about swinging, yes, it was a strike. In the American League for a while, when it was known as the, with the DH, you almost had to fall down, and even then, you might not have been called a strike.
These are 3 easy takes for Soler. 3 balls and no strikes from Fitz, or from Birdie rather.
I'd swing 3-0 here. Scored all those runs with the home run, and he's just 1 home run away from 200. Oh, that was a tough one. That's a good take though.
That's 2 baseballs outside the strike zone.
Yeah, but you're not going to swing at that one. That's off the plate in the neighborhood.
Mike Trout next. 3 balls and a strike to count to Jorge Soler. There is ball 4. So an error and a walk.
And Mike Trout.
Who's a perfect 3 for 3 tonight and 6 for his last 7 at the plate. And perhaps for that very reason, the Red Sox are gathering around their reliever.
It's Andrew Bailey going out, the pitching coach for the Red Sox.
We have a moment. How about a quick word from Kia? Just a little reminder for Birdie about not only the pedigree, but the zone that Mike Trout is in right now. In fact, with back-to-back 3-hit starts, Mike is on the kind of heater that he hasn't been on since 2018. The last time he had back-to-back starts with at least 3 hits. Here we go. First pitch to Trout. Up the line at third. Good play by Toro. He gets one himself. And the Red Sox turn the double play.
Boy, he hit that one well down the line. Toro made a really, really nice play. He's hoped the Trout's all right as he extended at the bag.
I'll give you this brand new
electric vehicle
if you can prove to me you know your finances. How many subscriptions are you paying for?
Just 3.
You sure? Let's download the Rocket Money app right now and see if you're right. It's actually 21 subscriptions, which is costing you around $370 a month.
The app is telling you all this?
Rocket Money shows you all your expenses in one place and even helps you suggest a budget based on your past spending. Don't worry about the 21 subscriptions. You can cancel them right within the app. It'll even try and get you some of your money back.
Why pay too much for cable TV when it costs less for Fubo? Get all the channels you want with all the entertainment you love for the price that cable can't beat. Start watching at FuboTV.com.
Step up to the plate and get ready to play ball. The baseball show for kids where you can learn about batting, fielding, and everything in between from the real pros. Every swing is a big hit on Play Ball. Saturday mornings at 10 Eastern on MLB Network.
Join us for this season of Halos Baseball. For more info on upcoming games, including exciting matchups, giveaways, and more, visit angels.com/tickets. Ryan Zefferjohn is the new pitcher for the Angels, former Boston property, and he is doing so under the watchful eye of a pitching coach that is not Barry Enright.
Because I think it would be Sal Fasano.
Okay. Barry was the Angel personnel that was ejected, where there was some confusion about who in fact it was.
You can see Sal Fasano right behind Ray Montgomery. There's Sal, assistant pitching coach.
He's hard to miss.
No, he knows pitching a lot.
So a defensive change behind Zefferjohn as well, as the Angels try to protect this 2-run lead. And Ryan's going to get a 2-pitch out on Romy Gonzalez. Kevin Newman takes over at third base. Hello, Newman.
I was waiting for that.
And Luis Rengifo moves over to second. It's just,
it's mandatory.
I apologize.
No, it's not.
Low-hanging fruit.
No apology needed.
One gone for Abraham Toro, who ever since the misplay early has played some spectacular defense, including the 5-3 double play on Trout that ended the last inning.
Great play. That looked like it was destined to go down the line for the 4th hit of the game for Trout and some insurance runs. Usually is a good glove everywhere that he's played, and a very, very strong throwing arm. He's played outfield all over in the infield.
Foul ball at the plate. Hey, speaking of great defense, it's being played all around the league. Check this out. Tigers and White Sox. A little assist. Point.
Wow. What a play.
Just like the play we showed you earlier with Romy Gonzalez and Cedane Rafaela. Razzle dazzle.
Some of us are that old to remember in the Game 6 of the 1980 World Series where the ball popped out of Bob Boone's glove into Pete Rose's glove by the dugout.
Happy memories for a Philly kid.
Yes, at that game too, right behind the dugout when I saw that.
2 balls and 2 strikes to Abraham Toro.
It's got to be a thrill for Zephyr John here tonight. Came over in that trade for Luis Garcia. With Matthew Lugo, who's now active on the roster for the Halos.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of cross-pollination between Boston and Anaheim on the current roster. Yohan Moncada, Kenley Jansen. You mentioned the 2 young guys. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count to Abraham Toro.
Kenley?
Kenley was such a big deal here that he did his own press conference for the Boston writers.
Yes, he did.
Toro is just peppering foul balls to both sides of the field. Erica, you were there to witness that big media scrum.
Most of it was talking about the 2 closers here with both teams. Aroldis Chapman on the other side with the Red Sox. Of course, Kenley here for 2 seasons as well. But a lot of the questions were about how the traditional closer, like both of them are, they're kind of, you know, not really happening anymore. It's kind of a lost art. Some of them called him dinosaurs. I didn't say that. That's what the Boston writers called it. But Kenley was talking about how the game is more computerized now. It's more leveraged these days. But he said, I can tell you as a human, the last 3 outs are still the hardest 3 outs to get. But it's just not the same as it was 20 years ago. But he was really happy to be reunited with some of the folks across the way with the Red Sox.
Eric, I agree 100%. Those last 3 outs, everyone thinks that's an easy thing. There is so much stress on every level. Not only are you trying to preserve a victory, you're trying to preserve a lot of times victory for the starting pitcher. There's always stress there. And you're always facing the best hitters. Because even if you're at the bottom part of the lineup, they're pinch hitting against you.
Zephyr John, meanwhile, finally able to strike out Abraham Toro. And with 2 away, here's Trevor Story. Kenley's good theater, too. I was visiting with Pete Abraham, who writes for the Boston Globe before the game. And he recalled a game last year where Kenley, who hates having a runner at second base,
oh yes,
intentionally balked him over to third for fear of that runner stealing signs and location.
He's done that with the Halos too a couple times.
It's such fun stuff when you think about that. How confident do you have to be? He had a 2-run lead. I know that was a similar circumstance with the Angels. He's got a lead big enough where that guy getting to third doesn't bother him. He just doesn't want him there. And on this particular occasion, the umpire was not calling the balk, so Kenley stepped off the mound and did this really overt balk move as if to tell the umpire, I'm balking him.
Yeah. Or he just accidentally drops the baseball too while he's on the pitching rubber. He's all about saving the game. He's not worried about the numbers as far as earned runs there. It's all about saving the game.
Ball and 2 strikes to Trevor Story. Zephyr John looking for a 1-2-3 bottom of the 7th. And he'll get it on a called strike 3.
Nasty, good fastballs from Zephyr John.
Through 7, Angels still lead by a pair.
Never clean your gutters again with LeafGuard. LeafGuard's seamless design keeps leaves, pests, and sediment out while directing water away from your home, preventing wood rot and foundation decay, giving you peace of mind that your home and family are protected from water damage with the industry's premier maintenance-free gutter system. Call 844-6LeafGuard right now for 75% off installation plus $200 off your purchase. LeafGuard, get it today. Protected for life.
There's an easier way. From little fixes to big projects, taking care of your home is easy with Thumbtack. Download the Thumbtack app and start caring for your home today.
And Fun Run presented by Lexus returns to the Big A on Saturday, June 21st. Join us for this year's City Connect theme race and receive a shirt, medal, and 2 ticket vouchers. Register now at angels.com/5K.
That's your wheelhouse right there. You got to go out there and participate.
Yeah. 5K couch run for this guy. Here is Luis Guerrero taking over on the mound for Boston, making his 5th appearance of the season. And he'll get Logan O'Hoppe to start the Angels half of the 8th. O'Hoppe, Adell, and Rengifo.
O'Hoppe looking for something elevated here. Nasty slider. He's got a good slider and fastball. You just saw a good touch. Upper 90s.
Guerrero, like Nick Birdie, who's already pitched in this game, also called up prior to the Red Sox last series with the Atlanta Braves. So if Angels fans think that the Halos have turned over their bullpen personnel a lot, Boston is matching us man for man.
And of course, then you have the Dodgers, their entire staff, really. They have 15 guys on the IL right now.
That's a whole nother story. O'Hoppe sends a drive out to right. This is playable for Ref Snyder, and there's one away. I'll bring up Joe Adell, who has enjoyed a 2-homer night here at Fenway.
Heater, gone. Crushed that one. What a swing that was for Adell. And then a breaking ball smashed out.
Adell's 6th career multi-homer game. He's never enjoyed a 3-homer evening. In fact, you've got to go back to a long time ago and a guy that didn't hit a lot of homers to find the last Angels 3-homer game here. I could give you 1,000 guesses, Gooby.
Freddie Patek?
Come on. You heard the same thing I heard.
No, I knew that one.
You remembered it.
Well, he's a former Royal at one point, too. So I always knew that one.
Freddie Patek hit what, 4 homers, and 3 of them were in that game?
Yes.
Come on.
He's a Royal Hall of Famer.
It was a 20-2 Angels win. Freddie Patek was a great player, had a long career. He just wasn't known as a home run hitter.
No.
And the year he hit, the year that he had the 3 here, he hit 5 total.
I like our little trivia questions there.
Well, here's another one for you.
Oh, okay. I guess I should have kept my mouth
When
shut.
was the last 2-homer game at this ballpark by an Angel? I'll give you a time date stamp.
C.J. Crone.
You got it.
Is it really?
Yeah.
That was a Fox game, as I remember.
Never going to challenge you again. 2016, no. C.J. Crone hit 2 here.
Because believe it or not, I was at Cheers watching the game.
Were you really?
I kid you not.
Did everybody know your name?
No. Well, they did by the end of the game.
I'm sure they did. I've seen that. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count to Joe Adell. High fly ball, slicing, trying to get out of play. Handled by Gonzalez.
Let's play on that one.
So now Luis Rengifo, who singled in 3 trips to the plate tonight. Smash to third, and another good play by Toro. Guerrero sets the Angels down in order in the 8th. Still a 2-run lead.
There's certain players in every lineup that make the lineup go. Speed, power, he is a difference maker.
Ketel Marte! He's done it one more time.
The best second baseman in the game, that's Ketel Marte.
There goes Corbin.
Just incredible speed.
He wants to bury people. He just doesn't want to beat you. He wants to drive you into the ground.
They're tearing the cover off the ball.
We play to win. We've played that way all year. I guess this is just another example of that. We know what's in that locker room. We know the heart we have.
I want to talk about the Angels. They're my big surprise team of 2025.
The Angels make sure the halo will shine brightly tonight.
The energy level and the swag and the confidence.
It is Crowder here.
Game's on notice.
Magneto Magnificent.
High octane. It is fuel. It is hot. It's coming at you in a big way.
It was 105.5 miles an hour.
No way.
The Halos are unstoppable right now.
Join Major League Baseball in the fight against ALS. Visit MLBtogether.com/4ALS to learn more. Oh boy, I used to love Neil Diamond too.
What are you saying?
The Red Sox Nation has ruined that song for me. Let's put it right out there. If they start doing something with Shiloh, I'll be really upset. Hector Neris is the new Angels pitcher. He's having a pitch comm issue. There were no such issues last week against the Yankees when Aaron Judge came to town, because this is a guy that Hector makes look very bad.
And I don't think there's many pitchers that can say that ever against Aaron Judge. Even a little smile there from Judge going, yeah, you got me again.
Yeah, you got the sense that Judge was very aware of that track record. Here we go with Cedane Rafaela. He'll lead things off in the home half of the 8th. Rafaela, Campbell, then top of the order, Duran and Devers. And we hope that this is going to be the last time the Angels are going to have to try to fade Duran and Devers.
That's why these two batters are so important for Neris here. Another good pitch. Two fastballs.
Rare taken strike from Cedane Rafaela.
Especially when you know the scouting reports that he throws a lot of splitters and it's nasty.
9 of Hector's 11 Angels appearances have been of the scoreless variety.
Another fastball and late on it.
Rafaela's got to think he's going to get the split at some point here. The next 0-2.
There it was. This kind of opened up that front shoulder. Usually that splitter will start middle and go down and into a right-handed batter, or down and away a left-handed batter.
Neris worked on Saturday, faced one batter. Still a ball and 2 strikes on Cedane Rafaela.
Right in the dugout.
Angels have never trailed tonight. 6 in the first on 3 homers. Rafaela with a swing and a big drive to left. That one goes.
Went to another fastball. Another fastball, and he turned on it. Stayed heater out after that one splitter away.
Not a guy that you think is going to beat you with the homer. It's the 4th of the year for Rafaela, but it makes it a 1-run game here in the 8th.
But that's what you want. You want to make sure you stay away. You see where the target was set up by O'Hoppe. We talked a lot about this late in the game out of the bullpen. We've seen some home runs hit on the inner half of the plate. But you got to stay away there. He meant to throw it away, but it ran back in and out of the ballpark.
Christian Campbell now hitless so far tonight. This is as close as the Red Sox have been to the Angels tonight. Deficits of 6-5 and now 7-6. 2 balls and no strikes on the Boston rookie.
And a patient hitter, like you mentioned already, Matty. He's, for a young hitter, very patient, knows the strike zone pretty well.
A guy that had hit only 19, check that, 20 homers in 3 seasons, has tightened up the score to a 1-run game. 3 balls and a strike to Campbell. Duran and Devers due up next. Jam shot back to Hector. And that's the first out of the inning.
We tied him up. He expanded the strike zone there. Off the plate in. Enough run on that sinker.
Well, let's see if Hector Neris can be the guy that quiets down Jarren Duran, because he has gotten hot all of a sudden. Hits in each of his last 3 at-bats after an 0-for-17 stretch. Strike 1.
He's done a real nice job, Neris, against left-handed batters, though. 0-77. Part of that reason is because that nasty splitter is really, really effective against left-handed batters.
Just one previous meeting between Duran and Neris. It resulted in a ground out, and it's a ball and 2 strikes.
That splitter, he threw it for a strike. This usually goes for that splitter to get out of the zone. And it's going to be important for Kevin Newman to make a play. He's moved around a little bit more so towards the shortstop spot. Neto just around the bag at second.
Seven runs on 8 hits for the Angels. 6 runs on 11 hits. 2 errors committed by the Red Sox. No swing on the appeal. It's to 2-2.
Held up on that one. Pretty good take on it.
Base is empty with 1 out in a 1-run game. And he went around on that one.
Ooh.
Wow.
Yeah, I am not so sure.
I mean, if the first one was a check, that was definitely a check. Thank you. Well, the Angels will take that. Duran is not happy.
Yeah, he definitely did not go.
Oh, that's a check. Duran's a very emotional player. Did you see a coach come out and grab him as soon as that argument started to escalate? Here's Devers now with 2 away. Big swing and a miss. Rafi Devers is 0-for-5 in his career against Hector Neris. A strikeout, 3 flyouts, and a ground ball. Slicing. Ward's out there in the corner. He's got a play on it to retire the side.
Might get above the stadium and work this way back into fair territory.
The 611 podcast meets MLB Network. Join longtime teammates and former MVPs Jimmy Rollins and Ryan Howard, plus other former players for unfiltered conversations about baseball, culture, and life. Only on MLB Network. Introducing baseball's all-new national pregame show, MLB Tonight, live at 5. Join Greg, Harold, and Dan, and a star-studded roster for a preview of all the night's matchups. Get a first look at the lineups.
Everything looks good right now for the Yankees.
First take from the players.
I'm just excited to put any pair of cleats on.
And the first of many breakdowns every game night. A full night of baseball starts at 5. MLB Tonight's national pregame show, live at 5 Eastern on MLB Network.
After the game, stick around for Angels Live postgame presented by OC Navigator. Erica Weston and Mark Gubazah will break down what we're hoping is a happy finish at the Fens tonight.
Old school Angels hat there.
Nice.
Remember that hat very well.
First player you think of when you see that logo is?
I always think of Darren Erstad.
Yeah, that's a good one.
This is because I'd be afraid not to say his name because he might run all the way up to the booth from wherever he's at right now. He was so intense.
You get here from Nebraska in a couple hours.
Running.
Kevin Newman leads things off in the Angels half of the ninth. Kevin's first plate appearance of the night. Came on defensively a couple innings back. As Luis Guerrero continues on the mound for the Red Sox, but the Angels have perhaps other plans for their bullpen as Kenley Jansen is moving around.
Save situation. 458 career saves for Jansen.
Newman sends that out to center field. Raffaella, whose homer made it a one-run game last inning, has the first out. So a fifth plate appearance for Zach Neto, who got this one off to a booming start with a leadoff homer in the top of the first.
His fifth leadoff home run of the season for Neto. Wouldn't be overly opposed for him to hit one in the ninth now either.
I don't think it's a coincidence that Zach has bigger slug numbers in his first plate appearance, right? He's unburdened by the situation, not necessarily looking to move a runner, driving a run, advance a situation. He's up there taking a big hack. And there are a long line of players who have similar numbers as to Neto, bigger slug early in the game.
It's amazing his impact points when he hits home runs too is generally out in front of the plate, and they go a long way.
Nothing in two to Zach Neto. Nolan Shonowell waiting on deck.
Might as well just start Shonowell with the full count just to go from there.
I was just going to ask you, give me an over-under on the number of pitches in Shonowell's next at-bat. I'll put it at 5.5.
Yes, that's a good call.
Two balls and two strikes to Neto. Four up, four down for Guerrero out of the Boston bullpen. That pitch misses off the plate. So from 0-2 to a full count.
And also with the speed of Neto, it'd be great to see him get on base.
Full count pitch, and Zach sends that one to third. Toro has been spectacular since the first inning.
His hands are ridiculous at third base.
It's hard to imagine his clanking that ball in the first as he did. He has been dazzling ever since then.
That was shocking, but this play right here is amazing how quick he got out as far as on the transfer to glove the throwing hand, and a good throw to first base too. That's a long throw, and Neto runs well. What a play by Toro.
What first pitch? Shauna Wells' quickest at bat of the game. Under cashed on 5.5. Here comes a big fella.
Every game night is a chance to go big with MLB Big Inning. Turn on baseball's only nightly show that brings you the biggest plays of the night, live and commercial-free.
Strikes him out.
No one stacks more clutch plays into one live show with up to 4 games on a single screen.
Out of here! He is on fire. It's a walk-off winner.
Change up game night with baseball's biggest game changer, MLB Big Inning, presented by Nissan. Every night, all season long on MLB.tv.
The alpha dog among big league closers right here. Top of the food chain, Manuel Clase.
Jose Ramirez, one of the most unsung great players in the game of baseball.
Goodbye. That's why he needs his gamer. Swing!
Cutter at 100 miles per hour coming at you.
Home run, Jose Ramirez.
Best power, speed, and run production is Jose Ramirez, and Jose Ramirez. He's a complete player.
Bogey! Swing and a miss. Bucket. You get into the 9th inning, done deal.
Well, among Kenley Jansen's 2 years in a Red Sox uniform, some pretty big moments. This is Jansen earlier this year as an Angel, and going through what Gooby and I were talking about earlier when he likes to balk a runner at second a free 90 feet so he doesn't steal his signs. He did that in Boston, he did that as a Dodger, and he's already done it as an Angel. Here are the season numbers, making his 20th appearance of the year. He was an all-star in his first of 2 seasons with the Red Sox. He's going to have to get through Refsnyder, Narvaez, and Gonzalez.
Abreu's pinch hitting for Refsnyder.
It is Wilyer Abreu pinch hitting. You got that. Leading things off in the 9th.
He's really aggressive on the first pitch generally. Got a nasty cutter. This season, left-handed batters a little bit better against Kenley. A little over 300, but in his career, left-handed batters is hitting 204.
Abreu comes to the plate 0 for his last 6.
That's
nasty. Strike 2.
Going back to our Hyundai Key for the game today. More than a feeling having Kenley Jansen on that mound right now to try to save the game, giving him 459 career saves if he can pull this one out here tonight.
Ball and 2 strikes, the count to Rob Refsnyder. Refsnyder 1 for 3 with a walk and an RBI tonight. Check that to the pinch hitter Wilyer Abreu. Pinch hitting for a guy who was 1 for 3 with a walk and an RBI. And Abreu swings and misses.
Yeah,
One gone for Jansen.
You know what, Matty, he had him looking cutter there. So he tried to get him to chase with the sinker of the pitch before, but he overthrew it. That one he stayed on there. Good mechanics, good balance, and boom, upstairs. Fastball, sinker, runs it by him. Looking for a cutter, got the express.
Here's Carlos Narvaez now. He's doubled in a run tonight. Kenley last pitch for the Angels Friday in Cleveland. A scoreless 9th inning. Trying to save another one here tonight.
Tied him up again on a cutter.
High fly ball for Adell in center.
Good job by communicating there with Joe Adell coming in. He was playing back. Didn't want to give up any doubles there, but had plenty of opportunity to run that one down.
Only Romy Gonzalez stands in the way of a series opening victory for the Angels at Fenway Park tonight. Gonzalez 2 for 4 with an RBI this evening. (1-0).
Tied him up again inside. Cutter firm, 94.
Those have to feel like bowling balls
Yes.
in on your hands. A ball and a strike. Well hit to right. Soler is there for it to retire the side and end the ball game.
What a job. 459th career save for Kenley Jansen. Doing it here in Fenway Park, where he picked up his 400th career save. What a moment. Joe Adell, what a game. 2 home runs. Mike Trout with a big game and a home run, 3 hits. Zach Neto, part of history with a home run in the first inning.
Boy, the Angels needed every bit of it tonight. This last out went a long way. Plus contact off the bat of Romy Gonzalez, handled in right by Jorge Soler, and Kenley earns his 12th save as an Angel. And the Halos have taken the series opener here in Boston.
That's a fun game. Scoring 6 runs in the first inning, part of history here at Fenway. First time ever the visiting team homers 3 times in the first inning, and then as we bite our fingernails, they hold on by 1.
Yeah, that was a squeaker. Let's go back to that first inning, shall we? Because it was so much fun. Zach Neto started it with a solo shot. His 10th of the year.
5th leadoff home run of the season.
And then with 2 men on and nobody out, Mike Trout. Absolute blast. Adell struck his first of 2 tonight.
And left the building. That was incredible. It's still shocking. That's the first time in history here in this yard.
A lot of candidates, but it's a pretty easy call to give Mike Trout Toyota Player of the Game honors tonight. 3 for 4 at one point, with 6 for his last 7. The only time he was retired today was on a rocket and a great play by third baseman Abraham Toro. Trout is back and standing by with Erica.
Mike, that was a fun first inning to watch. What was it like to be a part of it?
It was fun. It was fun. Bunch of us got a good pitches to hit, and they left the ballpark, so it was fun to be a part of.
I can't believe it's just your 2nd career home run in this ballpark. What's your reaction to that?
No, we were just talking about it. There I got one off Porcello, and then that was the second one. But, you know, that wall is big out there, so you got to hit them real high. So.
You guys also made history in the first inning. You are the first visiting team ever to hit 3 home runs in the top of the first inning in this ballpark. Kind of crazy to think about.
Yeah, that's sick. That's sick. Like I said, it was fun to be a part of that first inning, give the guys a lead, and, you know, we held it.
You look great at the plate right now. I think everybody on social media collectively, Mike Trout, he's so back. That's what everybody's saying. How are you feeling right now?
Yeah, I feel good. Just, you know, trusting the process in the cage. I know it's going to turn around. You know, some balls are starting to fall, and it's you know, fun to be at the plate right now.
It's fun to watch. Thanks for the time. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, guys.
As humble in victory as he may have been in an otherwise situation, Mike Trout leads the way in a 7-6 win for the Angels. We've got a lot to talk about coming up right after this.
Kansas City's hot.
They are relentless.
And Bobby Witt Jr. is piping hot.
One big swing from the Royal superstar.
The greatest player on earth right now.
You become like a massive, massive force.
Salute indeed to El Capitan.
You have to work more. You have to sacrifice yourself more.
That's the type of baseball that wins come postseason.
Just the team that we have, just doing things one pitch at a time, 1 inning at a time. It's just so much fun.
We do not talk about this superstar enough, and that's Rafael Devers.
6th straight game with a home run.
Jarren Duran is an extra base machine.
I've just always been like that guy that keeps his head down and works hard.
Swing and a miss.
Crochet's got that kind of electric stuff.
This green monster is tailor-made for Alex Bregman's swing. Great fit for Bregman, great fit for the Red Sox.
This was the piece that they really needed.
The guy's a winner. He's got all the talent.
The Red Sox are a much better team this year than they were last year.
PR for 60 months on Pathfinder.
The Angels make history at Fenway Park en route to a 7-6 win on Lou Gehrig Day. Game 2 of the series coming up tomorrow. Coming up next, Erica Weston and Mark Gubazza have Angels Live presented by OC Navigator. Stay with us. Matt Vasgersian saying so long. See you tomorrow night.
At Denny's, our newest slams are topped with freshly sliced bananas.
Let's talk Orioles, a powerhouse and getting better.
They have a lot of young players, and you know they're going to take another step.
High, deep, way out of here. That ball was barbecue.
Leave it up to the kid to do something special.
These guys are superstar players. Talk about smacking the opponent in the mouth from pitch one.
That's the day in, day out, and finding a way to win.
They've done an incredible job of bringing up this homegrown talent.
Take a bow, young man. The good vibes are back in Baltimore.
I think this is the Phillies' division to win.
Everybody knows their role within the team and are motivated collectively to go after that World Series ring.
Bryce Harper is one of the great faces of our sport.
Great ones do great things when it matters.
Trey Turner, just tools out of his mind.
Trey Turner, mammoth home run.
Zach Wheeler. But this guy has been nothing but sensational since he was signed.
This fan base loves us as a team. I love the city, man. A lot of fun to be able to go in the bank every single day.
They are a complete team. Time to win for the Phillies.
Baby, another on the way, and I could barely read or write. Getting my high school diploma was a catalyst I needed. Now I have a bachelor's and master's, and I became a teacher. When I look at all these success stories, I could not help but think it all started by getting my high school diploma.
When you graduate, they graduate. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you.
A historic night at the ballpark tonight for the Halos. 3 home runs in the first inning as we welcome you to Angels Live post-game presented by OC Navigator. Red Sox made it close though, 7-6 the final, but the long ball, the story in this one tonight is welcome you back inside Fenway Park alongside Mark Gubazza, Erica Weston with you. What a start for the Angels.
Incredible.
Wow.
I mean, every time I kept asking people, is it really true? I mean, the first time in the history of this ballpark, and this stadium's been around just for a few years.
Since 1912,
yes.
and this is the first time.
3 home runs by the visiting club in the first inning. An incredible night here. And then it was perfect. Kenley Jansen to be able to get that save, 459th of his career.
I'm not surprised if he was a little amped up, even at being a close ball game to close that one down. That's a mound he's very comfortable with. So let's take a look back at how the first inning unfolded. Gooby, also not a surprise to see Zach Neto going yard leadoff.
Yeah, 5th time this season he's going leadoff home run. I mean, it's unreal. He was smiling and telling you he's going to have a good game today. Well, you know what? Started off really, really good with that swing. And then Mike Trout, we were just saying, hey, it's been a while. He's only hit 1 home run in his career in this ballpark. Well, he said, let me get my first at bat. Make sure it's my second. It was a 3-run home run. Mike Trout, by the way, is locked in. And speaking of locked in now, Joe Adell, that's a fastball he hit out. out of the world right there, way out of the stadium. So 3 home runs, 6 runs scored in the first inning for the Halos.
That's a great start. You knew that the Red Sox bats were going to try to fight in this one, Gooby, but I mean, you'll take any kind of run support as a starting pitcher, no doubt about it, but a historic start and aggressive, too, in the count.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you have to do. Before a pitcher sometimes settles into accounts, because then you can use all your pitches. If you see a pitch in your zone, be ready. There's no reason to work pitch counts against certain guys, especially because you know, the Fitz was probably only go 3 innings. So why work the pitch count there? Look for a pitch to drive, and they did some serious damage against him in the first inning.
Yeah, and we knew that the starter for the Red Sox tonight was going to be limited to a certain amount of pitches. We didn't see him after the first inning before they were able to settle in. Let's go back to Joe Adell in this one tonight, Gooby. I mean, if not for that advertisement out there on top of the monster, both of them would have ended up on Lansdowne Street.
And the amazing thing, Erica, that was a fastball game. We've been talking about that a lot lately, and he's starting to really crush a fastball. And that first home run he hit was a fastball, and this baseball was out in a second. It was over 104 miles per hour, going well over 400 feet, and out of the entire stadium there for Joe Adell. I love the fact what we're seeing. And then he hits a breaking ball. It looked like that had a chance to get out of the ballpark, too, completely out of there. So 2 home runs. It's great seeing Joe Adell doing that. He's getting closer and closer down himself to double figures in home run now. Having a solid road trip with the power numbers. Played some solid center field. Never easy to play center field in this ballpark. So great to see that getting close. We saw Trout get his 10th. Neto get his 10th. You already had O'Hoppe with over 10 and Ward. So there's a lot of power in this lineup.
Yeah, and we've known how many home runs the Angels have been able to hit, but the key was that they had runners on in the early innings to be able to do that in the first inning. But you mentioned Mike Trout. He's locked in. He was those first 2 games in Cleveland, and he has, along with the home run, he had 2 other hits tonight, so he had 3 hits on the night overall.
And first time since 2018, he's had back-to-back games with 3+ hits, and he almost had another one if Toro didn't make such a great play against him. But his hands are great, and he's all about his hands. Everyone thinks and talks about his timing getting that foot down, but it's about his hands, how quick his hands are going right now. That was a fastball he hit out. So remember, he was telling you early on here in this trip in Cleveland that he didn't know if his timing was together on fastballs yet, but it's about his hands. But now all of a sudden you're seeing that quick hands, how short and direct he is to the baseball and crushing it. Awesome to see that for Trout. You can see him, and even by the interview there, he's starting to feel like he can really help this team start winning some games, and he's done a great job as far as getting a lot of hits here on this road trip so far.
You'll love the home run. You'll take that from Mike Trout any day of the week. You'll have the base hits even more, too.
Yeah, because it's so short and direct to the baseball, and he's so quick right now. Those hands are incredibly fast, and that's what you're seeing, some good swings from Trout.
They're trying to kick us out of here.
I think so already.
Not yet. I think maybe they're mad at us.
Yeah, they say, okay, you're going to hit all those home runs in the first inning. We're going to turn the lights off.
We're going to turn the lights off. Well, we'll see if the lights are on in the next segment. We've got more post-game reaction ahead as the Angels take the first game of this 3-game set against the Red Sox. It was a slugfest, but we'll look back at the pitching in this one tonight. Tyler Anderson on the mound to start, and we'll take a look back at his night on the mound here from Fenway Park.
The alpha dog among big league closers right here. Top of the food chain, Emmanuel Clase.
Jose Ramirez, one of the most unsung great players in the game of baseball.
Goodbye! That's why he needs his gamer. Swing! Cutter at 100 miles per hour coming at you. Home run, Jose Ramirez!
Best power, speed, and run production is Jose Ramirez, and Jose Ramirez. He's a complete player.
Bogey! Swing and a miss. Bucket. You get into the 9th inning, done deal.
Yordan Alvarez is just becoming this consistent hitting machine.
The big man who wears 44 is 4 for 4.
Face of the franchise, everything that is Houston now.
He's top 5 in every category for the Houston Astros historically.
Always just assume they're going to play in the ALCS.
There's no effort. Boom.
And you can kiss that goodbye. That's a game winner.
Late inning heroics once again. He's a legend.
Unbelievable.
Angels Live on FanDuel Sports Network is brought to you by the OC Healthcare Agency. Navigate to a healthier you at angels.ocnavigator.org. Fun one tonight from Beantown. The Angels bats came out swinging historically in the first inning. 7-6 your final scores. Welcome you back inside Fenway Park. Haven't kicked us out just yet because we've got much more to talk about. Gooby Tyler Anderson had the start tonight. He pitched better than his line indicated.
Yeah, I mean, I thought he was throwing the ball so well. Then all of a sudden in that fifth inning, some of the pitches that he was getting people out consistently with the cutter and change up, just a little bit more of the plate. They weren't down the heart of the plate, but they were down middle, and that's what happened to him there. With 5 strikeouts, he had 10 swing and misses with his changeup tonight. So that pitch was very, very good. His fastball was effective. You're going to look at the numbers going, that's not so good of a start, but I thought overall he threw the ball well. In this ballpark, if you make any mistake at all, it could be a lot of problems in there, especially because the way the defense had to be set up, the way the baseball flies. The infield is super quick also. So overall, I thought he did a nice job. Even with that big lead early on, he didn't pitch to that big lead. He pitched to go put up zeros every single inning. That's the mindset you have to have as a starter. 6 runs there in the first inning, and then all of a sudden you got to think, I got to put up zeros all the way through.
How hard is that for a pitcher?
It's so hard, but I think because he's been around younger pitchers, I think it would affect more. But as a veteran, he goes, I got to tell myself it's 0-0. I got to pitch exactly the same game plan like we did going in and be effective from there.
All right. Well, you mentioned the infield defense, Gooby. Zach Neto, he was, he's always up for the challenge as far as the defense is concerned. A nice night for him, and he was energized coming into this ball game tonight. Yeah,
he feels good coming in this ballpark. He made his debut in this ballpark a few seasons ago, but look how quick that transfer is there, and a great scoop by Nolan Shawnowell on that one too. So a lot of good plays by Zach Neto. He always takes such pride in his defense. We know that. And those hops he had, by the way,
that was a great
on that
play.
line. I got to ask him if he could. I'm sure he'll say it. I said, "Can you dunk a basketball?" He goes, "Oh, of course I could probably."
You think he's going to say he can't? There's no chance. Great play by Neto. Great night for him overall. Stick with us. More post-game reaction ahead. We're going to get some reaction from the skipper, Ron Washington, as Kenley Jansen closes the door on the Sox. Halos win Game 1, 7-6. More.
I'll give you this brand new
electric vehicle
if you can prove to me you know your finances. How many subscriptions are you paying for?
Just 3.
You sure? Let's download the Rocket Money app right now and see if you're right. It's actually 21 subscriptions, which is costing you around $370 a month.
The app is telling you all this?
Rocket Money shows you all your expenses in one place and even helps you suggest a budget based on your past spending. Don't worry about the 21 subscriptions. You can cancel them right within the app. It'll even try and get you some of your money back.
It's a great night for baseball.
This matchup features some of the best talent in the game. A lot of power, a lot of marquee names.
Here we go. Buckle up, folks. There's a guy who wants to be in the spotlight.
The bats have come alive. A showstopper. We're just playing Powerball.
This place doesn't know what hit him.
These teams are entertaining, are they not?
The show continues. Experience game-to-game coverage of the night's biggest moments, live and commercial-free. MLB Network Strike Zone, Wednesday and Friday nights all season.
Angels Live on FanDuel Sports Network is brought to you by the OC Healthcare Agency. Navigate to a healthier you at angels.ocnavigator.org. Angels take Game 1 of the series here in Beantown, 7-6. Your final score as we head inside the Angels clubhouse to hear from the manager, Ron Washington, on tonight's win.
you think of that first inning jumping on the number 6 run?
Wow, we needed every one of them. And, no, that was a great explosion right there. So we put ourselves in a good position to end up holding on to the game at the end.
What do you think of Mike Trout's swing these days?
Well, I think you guys have seen Mike Trout for a while. Anybody that know Mike Trout shouldn't be surprised. The only surprise that he should have is that he's missed some days. But as I've always said, Mike Trout can still do a lot of things that a lot of people can't do, and he's showing that.
Seems like Adele's taking better at bats too the last 10 days or so.
Yeah, he is swinging well, and the thing is we got to keep him swinging the bat. As long as he's swinging the bat, it's dangerous, you know. And sometimes when he does well, he goes up there and you get a little tentative. So tonight we tried to keep pushing him to swing the bat if they throw it in the zone.
Is Trout still going to hit 5th tomorrow?
Yes. He's doing well where he is. And the guys in front of him is getting on the bag, so he's really doing well where he is.
Guessing you want a little bit more length there from Anderson, though, that big lead?
Yeah, but, you know, we wasn't going to let the game get away right there. I was trying to get him through the 5th inning. But we couldn't let that game get away, so we had to try to stop it right there.
All right, Gooby, let's take a look at the probables for the rest of the series. You say Kikuchi tomorrow and Jose Soriano in the finale.
Yeah, you got to feel good with those two arms going for the Halos, a chance to be able to win this series against Boston. And right now, with some of their guys banged up on the offensive side, feel good about that. But this Boston team, they under Alex Cora, they will fight all the way to the end. We saw that Durant is swinging the bat well. That's a scary thought. So is Dever doing his thing. So they are still a tough team. The Kikuchi on the mound tomorrow, you feel pretty good about him going out there and dominating.
Yeah, you got your horses in this series going up against Brian Bayo and the former Angel in Lucas Giolito. Yeah. But a fun one tonight for the Halos, Gooby. They needed it after that tough series in Cleveland. But your final thoughts before we... I mean, they couldn't try to make it any more obvious trying to kick us out of here.
But by the way, Zephyr John picking up the W today against a team that he was with this last year in a trade. So that's got to be a great feeling for him. Mike Trout swinging the way he has. Neto with the home run, but I'm loving what I'm seeing from Joe Adele. So now you have that balance in the lineup. And Kenley Jansen, 459 save. You were down there in that scrum talking today with the Boston media about saves and maybe the Hall of Fame. Well, that helps out there today getting that save against the Red Sox.
Hall of Famer?
Yes, 100%.
I think so too. How could he not be?
Postseason numbers alone put him in there, and then you go in there. By the time he's done playing, he'll have over 500 saves.
Well, perhaps a conversation for another day, but in our opinion.
But still, 3 home runs in the first inning here at Fenway Park. I'm still shocked.
It's unbelievable. It was a great day tonight at Fenway Park. The Angels bats came alive in that first inning, a historic first inning. Thanks for joining us for Angels Live postgame. For Mark Gubiza, I'm Erica Weston. We'll do it all over again for Game 2. Angels and Red Sox from Fenway Park, 6:30 Eastern. We'll see you then on FanDuel Sports Network.